others ran from the dark, I studied it. I made a home in silence so loud it could drive a man mad. And in that silence I found clarity. You think isolation weakens a soul? No, it refines it. It chisels away every illusion, every delusion, until nothing remains but truth, and truth doesn't bend for comfort. You believe struggle breaks people, but I watched the world strip me to the bone, and still I stood. You speak of pain like it's a punishment, but I was raised in it, molded in it. While others ran from the dark, I studied it. I made a home in silence so loud it could drive a man mad. And in that silence I found clarity. You think isolation weakens a soul? No, it refines it. It chisels away every illusion, every delusion, until nothing remains but truth, and truth doesn't bend for comfort. You believe struggle breaks people, but I watched the world strip me to the bone, and still I stood. I didn't need a witness. I didn't need applause. I didn't even need hope. I only needed the fire that refused to die in me. Because when everything else has taken your name, your allies, your reputation, what's left is who you truly are. And what I am is inevitable. They thought the dark would silence me, but it taught me patience. They thought the pressure would destroy me, but it carved discipline into my bones. While they needed light to see, I learned to move without it, to operate in shadows, to turn suffering into strategy. You cannot defeat someone who no longer fears pain. You cannot break a being who has befriended the abyss. I don't rise to be seen. I rise because I know what it is to be forgotten. I don't speak to be heard. I speak because silence obeys me now. I am not here for peace, I am peace's reckoning. I am not after revenge, I am the result of what happens when pain outlasts every weak excuse, every coward's comfort, every lie they tell to keep themselves asleep. They look at me and see control, composure, calculation, but what they don't see is how many battles I fought just to stand still. They don't see the storms I walked through alone. They don't see the chains I shattered with my will alone. And now they fear me not because I yell, but because I don't need to. Power doesn't beg, it breathes. So no, I wasn't broken by the dark. I became it. And in this silence, in this cold, in this endless night they swore would swallow me, I built myself into the ending of their comfort and the beginning of their reckoning. Let them come. Let them test what they do not understand. Because I am not the threat they prepared for. I am the consequence they created. You see, they prepared for someone desperate. Someone seeking redemption. Someone who'd crawl back for approval, for belonging, for light. But I've outgrown that illusion. I am not a plea, I am a sentence. Not a cry for help, I am the silence that follows when every excuse is run dry. They expected a return, but I never left. I simply descended, deep into the pit where true power waits not in noise, not in crowds, but in the echo of a soul that refuses to die quietly. They call it darkness because it terrifies them, because it strips them of their masks, their distractions, their lies. But I welcomed it. I let it burn away everything soft, everything unnecessary. What's left is not cruelty. It's clarity. I do not move with hate, I move with certainty. I do not strike from anger, I strike from purpose. Every step, every breath, every choice is calculated. And when you've been through what I have, you don't gamble. You guarantee. They still think I fight to prove something. No, that was the old world. This is after. I no longer argue. I no longer explain. I no longer try to make them see what they never had the vision to understand. I do not speak in hopes they'll change. I speak to make sure they feel what change has already become. There is no going back. There is no version of me that lowers himself to be digested by fragile minds. That version burned and the ash built a throne. Now I don't rise like a man. I rise like a standard. Like a reminder. I exist to expose everything they buried, to mirror back the weakness they thought would control me. And they fear that. They fear the one who doesn't seek approval.
Morning all.
Who isn't
300
ruled by
push-ups.
comfort. The one who doesn't blink when the whole world burns because he already burned first and he lived. So let them cling to their illusions. Let them whisper their warnings. Let them hope the storm passes. It won't, because I am not the storm. I am what survives it, what emerges after it, the lesson written in smoke and scars.
I'll get this one.
And if they come looking for the man they once knew, they'll find only this a force that answers to no one. A reckoning forged in the dark. A reminder that what they tried to
Why won't it
kill
let me
did
type
not
that?
die. They will tell stories about the fall. How you vanished. How the silence grew louder in your absence.
Okay.
But they will never understand what truly happened down there. They'll say you disappeared. But you descended, you didn't crumble, you calculated, you weren't lost, you were learning. And every second they thought you were broken was a second you were building the version of yourself they could never predict, never control, never contain. They were never prepared for someone who didn't need the crowd, who didn't flinch without applause, who didn't fold when stripped of titles, allies, and comfort. That kind of soul born of ash, tempered in isolation, isn't just dangerous. It's inevitable because when everything is taken from you, the only thing left is the truth. And truth doesn't negotiate. It doesn't compromise. It doesn't seek validation from a world built on illusion. They thought they'd win by turning you invisible. But you learned how to move in silence so complete it became your weapon. They thought your pain would make you passive.
It's 10.
But it made you precise. Every scar became a map. Every betrayal became a compass. You didn't forget. You didn't forgive. You remembered everything, and in remembering you rose not as the same, but as something unrecognizable. What you are now doesn't beg, doesn't chase, doesn't explain. It doesn't ask for space, it commands it. You walk like someone who's touched the bottom and chose to keep going. Like someone who
20.
knows the world doesn't reward the soft-hearted it feeds on them, and yet you've become something even the world itself hesitates to challenge. Not because of what you say, but because of what you embody: stillness, power, finality. You didn't come back to be liked. You didn't emerge for their acceptance. You rose for the silence, for the peace that comes when no one has access to your destruction anymore. Let them knock. Let them wonder. Let them call you heartless while they replay every moment they squandered your warmth. Because now the gates are closed. The kingdom is locked. And the one who once gave it all without question has become the answer they cannot afford.
Yeah.
They wanted survival.
Little vape presso.
Became sovereign.
Basic ass, man.
They wanted
Better, a
remorse.
bit better than smoking, arguably.
Became
Who would
ruthless.
know? How are you, man?
They wanted the past. You became the consequence. And now, they don't face a man. They face a monument. There's a silence now when your name is spoken. Not because because they've forgotten, but because they remembered too clearly. They remember the access they wasted, the warnings they ignored, the softness they mistook for weakness. And now all they have is distance. Not because you vanished, but because you ascended. You outgrew their chaos. You outpaced
Thank you,
their
brother.
games.
300 every day, man.
Evolved past the point where their noise could reach you. And that is what terrifies them. They expected your return to be loud, emotional, desperate for reconnection. But what came back was colder than vengeance and sharper than regret. What came back was a presence that doesn't ask for space, it is space. Carved from solitude, protected by silence, ruled by discipline. No rants, no rage, just a controlled storm behind calm eyes. And in that calm they see everything. Everything they underestimated. Everything they couldn't break. Everything they can't touch anymore.
It's 40.
You don't move to prove anything
40 down.
now. You move because it's time. Not with urgency, but with inevitability. And every step forward is a reminder you are not waiting for justice. You are justice. Not the kind that begs for fairness. The kind that corrects imbalance. You are what happens when someone embraces the suffering meant to end them and turns it into structure, into strategy, into strength. And strength like yours, it doesn't knock, but enters. It doesn't threaten. It exists. And its existence alone disrupts every lie they built their comfort on. They called you broken, until they saw how solid you became. They called you distant, until they realized you were just done performing. Now they call you cold. But the truth is you're clear. And clarity is uncomfortable for people who live in denial. You were never seeking revenge. You were becoming the reminder that you cannot play with people's hearts and walk away unscathed. That you cannot feed on someone's light and expect them to stay in the dark. Now, you're not just a person, they remember you like a lesson, a reckoning, a standard they'll never measure up to again. Because what rose from the fall wasn't a survivor. It wasn't a comeback. It was a command. And now every room you enter adjusts. Free presence shifts. Not because you speak loudly, but because the power in your silence is final. Like, comment, and subscribe. Commissioner Gordon, Bane has escaped. Darkness is not the enemy most believe it to be. It is the training ground where the foundations of greatness are built. When the spotlight is absent, when recognition is stripped away, when applause is silent, you are left with nothing but the raw reality
60.
of yourself. That is when you discover whether your ambitions are genuine or just performance. To build yourself in the dark is to refuse the need for witnesses. It is to work when no one is watching, to grow when no one is praising, to prepare while others are sleeping. Darkness forces you inward, and what you build there cannot be taken
65.
from you. The light may expose you, but the dark is where you become unbreakable. In the dark, you learn the art of patience. You cannot rush the process when no one is validating you. The silence forces you to endure the grind without immediate reward. Most people collapse here. They crave recognition too soon, and when it does not come, they abandon their work. But if you stay, if you continue to shape yourself, when there is no echo of applause, you
Morning, brother.
Discover the strength to keep
Smack my knee
moving
up.
even when the world does not care. That endurance separates those who collapse from those who conquer. Building yourself in the dark is a test of hunger. Do you want the image of success, or do you want success itself? Darkness strips away vanity. In the absence of eyes, you cannot perform for approval. You cannot pretend to be what you are not. All illusions collapse when the crowd is gone. That is why the dark feels uncomfortable. It holds a mirror too honest to ignore. You see your weaknesses exposed, your excuses magnified, your lack of discipline staring back at you. This confrontation is brutal, but it is also liberating, because once you face the truth of yourself without filters, you gain the power to change. Building yourself in the dark is not glamorous. It is raw reconstruction. It is chiseling away the lies until only the real remains. The greatest advantage of the dark is that it belongs to the unseen. While others chase attention, you are building silently. They burn themselves out performing. You conserve energy for creation. They seek shortcuts through exposure. You stack real skills in silence. Then, when the light finally hits, the difference is undeniable. You are not another loud presence pretending to matter. You are a force sharpened by obscurity. You arrive not needing validation, because you built without it. That is why the strongest breakthroughs come from the shadows. The dark produces giants while the light distracts performers. Darkness also protects you from the parasites of doubt. When too many eyes are on you, their opinions seep into your mind. Their projections weaken your vision. Their criticism bends your resolve. In the dark, there are no voices but your own. You can experiment. You can fail without ridicule. You can rebuild without interruption. The silence becomes your shield. And through that shield, you discover the courage to try.
Hi, Nikai. Great to see you, mate. Mate, good to see you.
Audience. Building in the dark is freedom. It is the space
We're at
where
85.
failure is transformed into progress instead of humiliation. Most people fear the dark because it feels lonely. They equate loneliness with weakness. But solitude is not weakness. It is fuel. When you learn to stand alone, you stop being dependent on approval. You stop craving the constant presence of others to validate your choices. The dark becomes your companion, and through it you discover self-reliance. Solitude builds strength no crowd can grant you. When you no longer need others to confirm your path, you become unstoppable. The dark teaches you that loneliness is not absence. It is opportunity. It is the forge where independence is carved. The silence of the dark sharpens focus. Distraction thrives in the light. Opinions, noise, constant comparison, all of it pulls at your mind. But in the shadows, there is nothing but you and your work. That simplicity
100.
is rare in a world of constant interruption.
Yeah, going good, mate. Going good. Thank you.
To perfect your craft,
How are you going?
mastery without interference. The depth you reach here is what makes you untouchable later. While others skim the surface, distracted by attention, you have been in the depths, building skills with precision. The dark slows you down just enough to accelerate you beyond the reach of the average. Building in the dark is also about resilience. There will be
100
nights
down,
when doubt
200 to go.
screams louder than conviction. There will be mornings when silence feels like failure. But staying through that discomfort teaches you endurance. You learn that growth is not always loud or visible. It is often invisible, unfolding silently beneath the surface. When you trust this process, you become immune to impatience. You no longer measure progress by applause. You measure it by who you are becoming. And when you emerge, you will not just have results. You will have resilience no one can imitate. The irony is that once you build yourself in the dark, the light will come anyway.
The channel I'm listening to is called Dark Art Motivation. Dark Art Motivation, what we have on at the moment. Something to think about.
Recognition will find you. Applause will chase you. People will wonder
We're at
how
100,
you became
200 to
so
go.
capable overnight, not realizing those
None of us are quite
lights
okay,
surged
Nakai. It's
endlessly
normal,
in
mate.
obscurity.
Don't be so hard on
By the
yourself.
time the light
There's
arrives,
billions of people going through feeling like you are.
you will
You're
not
okay, man.
crave it. You will not
That's like I
fear
told you, don't be
losing
so
it,
hard on yourself.
because you know the truth. Your
You're too hard on
foundation
yourself.
was built where no one could see, and nothing can erase that. The light is temporary.
You're doing good,
the
mate.
dark is eternal. Death of the old self is not poetic metaphor, it is reality. You cannot drag yesterday into tomorrow and expect transformation. The habits that chained you, the beliefs that confined you, the fears that dictated your choices, they must be destroyed.
Listen to
Yet
that.
destruction is not painless. It is violent,
Gold.
unsettling, and raw. To shed the old self feels like ripping away skin. It is the death of comfort, the death of identity you once leaned on, the death of illusions that shielded you. Most resist this death because it feels unbearable.
Yeah, I
They
understood this to
settle
build my
into a
mind, bro.
prison of familiarity.
Just do it to inspire
They
people,
choose
man.
survival of the old self over the birth of the
300
new.
push-ups every day.
But survival without growth is slow decay. The only path forward demands death first. The pain is necessary because it exposes your dependency on the patterns that have defined you. Letting go means standing in uncertainty. It means stepping into a void where nothing is guaranteed. That void terrifies people. They would rather stay with the known discomfort than leap into the unknown possibility. But greatness never emerges from the known. It requires you to break yourself, to confront your
Appreciate it, bro.
shadows, to sit with the screams of your ego as it fights for survival. The old self will claw to remain alive,
120.
whispering that change is unnecessary.
120.
But that voice is the chain you must break. The new self waits beyond the death of that voice. The process feels like darkness because there is no applause for it. No one celebrates when you cut rival. The old self will claw or emerges from the known. It requires you to break yourself, to confront your shadows, to sit with the screams of your ego as it fights for survival. The old self will claw to remain alive, whispering that change is unnecessary. But that voice is the chain you must break. The new self waits beyond the death of that voice. The process feels like darkness because there is no applause for it. No one celebrates when you cut ties with destructive habits. No one praises you for sitting in silence confronting your demons. No one applauds the lonely nights where you kill excuses one by one. That is why this death is so isolating. You are stripped of recognition, stripped of identity, stripped of comfort. Yet in that stripping lies freedom. You cannot step into the light carrying baggage built from lies. The dark becomes the furnace where the old is burned away and the new is formed. The resistance to this death is why most remain trapped. They run from the pain instead of through it. They numb themselves with distraction, bury themselves in shallow pleasures, or drown themselves in excuses. They think they are escaping the death of the old self, but in truth, they are enslaved by it. Pain avoided becomes pain multiplied. What you do not kill will haunt you. What you refuse to face will dictate every choice, every thought, every step. You either master the pain by facing it, or it masters you by becoming the ruler of your life. When you embrace the painful death of the old self, you begin to discover resilience you never knew existed. Pain stops being something to fear and becomes something to use. Every tear, every scar, every moment of breaking becomes evidence of rebirth. The pain transforms from punishment into proof that you are no longer the same.
That will change over time, Nakai.
Dies screaming,
You've got a
but
long
its
life
death
ahead of you. You're
creates
so
silence.
caught up in
that silence,
now.
the new self begins
So I
to
think
break.
5 years ahead of
That
what you
first
can build by
breath
then.
is
Then the rest of your
fragile,
life,
but with
we
every
chill.
step
Just do what you can.
it grows stronger.
Control what you can
realize
control.
pain was never the enemy.
That's all it is.
It was the
You're stressing
doorway.
so much, you
The
feel
new
like your
self
life is
not
collapsing
built
right
in
now.
comfort,
In a few years, you'll be
built in fire.
out of home, sisters,
That is
stuff will be
why
out of
the
home.
dark matters.
You can go renting
The
with your
dark
sister,
is
whatever,
where you are
right?
stripped of
Make a
illusions,
plan that's going to
forced
take you
into
somewhere.
confrontation
Everybody
with
has to go
everything
through
you
this.
avoided. It
Alright?
is where you learn to stop running
Believe in
and
yourself. Stop
fighting.
doubting yourself. Stop being so hard on yourself.
The world.
It'll work out. You're young.
Yourself.
You're only just getting started, man. This is just learning phase. You'll be learning a lot until you know, until you're in your 30s. You never stop learning, but you know, you've got decades ahead of you, man. You're all good. You're beating yourself up like you're meant to be perfect. You haven't been alive long enough to develop the skills yet. Nobody has, right?
Most will never fight this battle
Nobody has, man.
because they misunderstand.
So don't be so hard on yourself,
what it means
please.
to live. They think life is about protecting comfort, about holding on to identity, about maintaining stability. But those who cling eventually break anyway, not in transformation, but in regret. They die with their old selves intact, never knowing the freedom of becoming someone greater. To live fully is to kill repeatedly. Every
150, we're halfway
season,
there.
another death, another shedding, another
150
sacrifice.
of 300.
That is the rhythm of growth. If you are not dying, you are not evolving. There is no shortcut to this process. You cannot bypass the darkness. You cannot skip the pain. You cannot negotiate with the old self to step aside politely. It must be destroyed, and destruction requires you to step willingly into discomfort. Every breakthrough is earned through breakdown. Every evolution is purchased with pain. If you accept this truth, you stop fearing the process. You begin to welcome it. Because you understand that each death carries with it the seed of your next rebirth. When the new self finally emerges, you realize why the pain was essential. The light feels sharper, the freedom feels real, the strength feels unshakable. You understand that without the death of the old self, you would never appreciate the new one. Pain was not the obstacle. Pain was the initiation. What you endured in the dark gave you the power to stand in the light without crumbling. And now, the light no longer blinds you. It fuels you. Beginner hell is the trial by fire that no one wants, but everyone must endure. The first 3 to 6 months of any pursuit are not filled with progress. They are filled with frustration. Your effort feels wasted. Your results are invisible. Your doubts grow louder each day. You question whether it is worth it, whether you chose the wrong path, whether you are wasting your time. That feeling is not a sign of failure. It is nature's filter. It is the weight placed at the gate to separate those who want the outcome from those who crave the process. Most turn back here. They cannot stomach the silence, the lack of recognition, the endless grind without visible reward. That is why the few who push through stand out so violently later. They endured the desert where most collapsed. This beginner hell is not punishment. It is preparation. If progress came instantly, everyone would endure, and the pursuit would mean nothing. Value exists because difficulty exists. Nature designs the first stretch of every journey to strip away the pretenders. It is not enough to want results. You must be willing to bleed without proof. Those who survive this stage are forged by it. The suffering becomes their identity. They no longer chase shortcuts, because they know shortcuts do not exist. The first months of emptiness teach them
Where's
that
Jay? If I missed some
persistence
chat.
itself is the key. It is the suffering that becomes the advantage. Without it, no
I
foundation
can't see any
exists.
messages from Jay.
Progress feels invisible because
Lost
the
animals?
growth is happening beneath the surface. You cannot see your
Not
mind
sure what's going on there, sorry.
rewiring, your resilience thickening, your habits embedding themselves. But it is happening. Just as seeds planted in soil appear dormant until they suddenly break through. The beginner's effort appears wasted until the roots are strong enough to support growth. Most quit before the roots form. They mistake silence for absence. They do not realize that the very progress they crave was already underway. Endurance was the water. Time was the sunlight. Effort was the soil. To quit is to abandon the harvest before it has the chance to rise.
Yeah, I know who he is, but I can't see his name in chat.
As a mirror. It reflects
Can't see
back
Jay
your
in chat.
motives with brutal honesty. Were you in it for quick wins? Were you in it for validation? Were you in it because you thought it would be easy? The desert exposes all of it. If you cannot love the grind without the glory, you will not survive long enough to earn the glory.
180 to
Those who
300.
endure learn to detach from results. They learn to show up because showing up is the victory. This shift transforms them. When results eventually come, they are no longer desperate for them.
Thank you, Franz. 300 push-ups every day, man. Every day. I do it for ADHD. I do it for my mind, for my mindset, right?
The pain of beginner hell
So it's
sharpens
just building
patience.
mindset, man.
In a world addicted to immediacy,
Thank you very much, dude.
patience itself becomes a weapon.
180 to
Training
300.
for months without reward requires a level of control most will never build. Patience forged here bleeds into every part of life. You stop chasing instant gratification because you know the taste of long-term victory is greater. You stop comparing yourself to others because you understand growth is never linear. The patience that feels like suffering in the beginning becomes your shield against every distraction later. Beginner hell is where the foundation of patience is laid. 3 to 6 months of frustration is the entry fee for mastery. Every master has walked this path. They were not immune to the doubts.
At
They were
190.
not spared from the emptiness. They simply stayed. That is the entire difference. They understood that this stage was not optional. It was essential. To skip the suffering is to skip the transformation. This is why you must embrace it instead of resist it. Beginner hell is not the delay of progress. It is the process of becoming someone who can handle progress when it finally arrives. Without this, even success would crush you. What most see as wasted time is actually the sharpening of identity. In those months, you stop being someone who dabbles and start being someone who commits.
200.
You stop defining yourself by outcomes and start defining yourself by consistency. You stop needing to prove anything to others and start proving it to yourself. This identity shift is the most valuable progress of all. By the time you emerge, you are no longer fragile. You are no longer at the mercy of motivation. You have become someone who endures. That identity alone guarantees future success, regardless of the field. The silence of beginner hell is also freedom. Without attention, without recognition, without the noise of outsiders, you are free to experiment. You are free to fail without ridicule. You are free to build without pressure. This freedom is priceless because once results come, eyes come too, and with them, judgment. Beginner hell is the last season of privacy you will ever have in that pursuit. Treat it as sacred. Use it to make mistakes you will not be allowed to make later. Use it to grow roots no storm can pull. The darkness of this stage.
Hi, Joe. Good to see you, brother.
Resilience grows.
There you are, mate.
When the breakthrough
How are you?
finally comes,
Great to see you, bro. Hope you're well.
people will see your sudden rise and call it talent, luck, or advantage. They will never see the nights of questioning, the mornings of doubt, the months of emptiness you endured. That invisibility is the point. The filter worked. You remained while others quit, and that staying power turned you into something they can never replicate. The suffering they avoided is the strength you now carry. Beginner hell was never in your way. It was building your way. The most liberating truth a human can discover is that the mind is plastic.
Hey, Soccer. Great to see you, mate. Great to see you.
Within the
Sorry.
boundaries of
Sweat in the
nature.
eyes, guys.
Unlike the body, which has ceilings of size
Stinging.
and strength, the mind expands as far as
At 210, Soccer.
every shortcoming you carry is not
Shay,
a
great to see you again.
flaw, but a
Do
lack
your best,
of
bro.
training,
Look at you.
skill, or
Beast, bro.
exposure.
Doing great, man. Doing
Most
great.
never realize this
Just here,
because
putting
they
in the
are
work every day,
raised
man.
to believe
Every day now.
intelligence is fixed,
So I'm doing
and
7
talent is
days, 300 push-ups minimum a
that
day.
failure is proof
So
of
just getting it
limits.
done, man. We'll do
Truth
chat
is far
after
harsher
this.
and far more
I'm just
empowering.
grinding through it,
Your
man.
failures are not signs of incapacity.
Drink some water, bro. Yeah, I've been sipping away at it, bro. I'm alright. I'm alright. I've got electrolytes in that one, and I've got pre-workout in that one, and electrolytes in that one. Doing alright. Thank you, bro.
You stop hiding behind labels. You stop fearing
Do a
inadequacy.
headset. Can't do that,
And
mate.
you
Can't
start
do that.
building relentlessly because you know capacity is always expandable. The mind obeys the same law as any system. Give it repetition, give it input, give it feedback, and it evolves. Yet most people treat it like stone rather than clay. They accept its current shape as permanent and resign themselves to mediocrity. They say, I am not good at that, as though it were destiny rather than a choice. But the brain rewires itself with every new task you expose it to. Neuroplasticity is not abstract theory. It is proof that you can reforge yourself continuously. Every new language learned, every new skill acquired, every new
We're at
challenge
210.
reshapes neural pathways. You
Only
are
messing. Yeah, you're
yourself
alright, man. You're alright.
with each repetition.
You're alright, bud.
The only
Where are you from, man?
barrier is your willingness to endure the
Daz,
early
where are you
discomfort
from,
and
mate?
incompetence
And how you
until
going?
the rewiring solidifies. It is liberating because once you understand this, excuses collapse. You no longer
We
say,
did 500
"I
yesterday.
cannot." You begin saying, I have not trained for it yet.
Do check out my new shorts, guys. I put up like 6 of them yesterday. Please do comment and let me know which ones you like, which ones you don't like.
By current ability and start defining yourself by potential capacity. You see setbacks not as verdicts but as feedback. You realize failure is not an end, but part of the programming process.
220.
Just as a muscle tears to grow stronger.
Yeah, 20 likes, please. That'd be great. Thank you.
To rewire deeper. Your limits are only temporary.
So we'll have some of this on and
to be rewritten.
you guys can listen to that rather than me blather on all the time.
Once you know the mind is limitless in adaptation.
England, UK, fantastic. Great to see you again, gamer. Hope you're well, man. Hope you're doing good.
Most shortcomings are illusions created by lack of process. People want results without sequence. They want mastery without the steps. But
Susie, if you're there, could you bring me some water, please?
correct sequences until the
So let's drop in here, man. Gotta earn it.
automatic. A craftsman is not born knowing. He learns one motion at a time until thousands of repetitions.
Everybody double check the screen. Thank you very much, guys.
A thinker is not born brilliant. He refines his logic step by step until
Good
clarity
workout. Thank you, John.
becomes instinct.
Thank you, John.
Once you
Awesome, bro.
grasp
I do it every day on
skill
here.
can be
Every day.
broken
So
down into
we talk about
its
mindset and stuff,
components.
self-improvement, man.
You realize there is no
I don't just do the
ceiling.
workouts, so
There
do
is
sub
only
if you
time,
haven't.
patience,
Drop a like
and
for me,
effort.
bud.
What others label genius
Appreciate it,
is
guys.
often just someone who endured longer through the sequence without
I just put
stuttering.
myself through it, you know, to inspire people. That's what it's about.
The mind is infinite in what it can store.
Who likes and subscribe if you haven't? Yes, please, Daz. That'd be great.
Reaches a point where
Thank you,
it
bro.
cannot
Thank you,
live
guys.
anymore. A runner
Alright, I'm at
reaches a limit
220.
of speed.
220.
The mind has no such ceiling within the laws of nature. It can learn endlessly. It can rewire endlessly. It can adapt endlessly. That means no path is closed to you. It may take years, it may take pain, it may take the sacrifice of comfort, but the door is always open. Once you see this, hopelessness dissolves. You are no longer trapped by comparison, because comparison loses meaning when growth has no cap.
230.
The danger is that most people never test this truth.
Workout suggestions from home. Tell you what I'm doing, bro. I started out at 200 push-ups every day. From 0 push-ups, I did 200 push-ups every day. I started in August. That's all it is, push-ups. That's it. You don't need a gym membership. You don't need to learn all the science and stuff. You know, eat clean, reduce carbs. 200 push-ups a day. Like for the first few days, you're gonna hurt. You're gonna have sore shoulders and stuff. You just push past it. You push past it. Just 5 at a time, 10 at a time, 2 at a time if you have to. Just get in your 200 a day, no matter what. And within a month, you'll feel. Within 2 weeks, you'll feel like a completely different person. It just armors the mind, right? I do recommend everybody does at least 50 push-ups a day in the morning for your mental health, rather than dopamine scrolling from a phone. You want earned dopamine, right? 50 push-ups, you'll know when, because at 40 push-ups I get a rush, like come up my spine, up the back of my neck. It gives you that rush of dopamine. So from 40 to 50 push-ups, you get that. Once you feel that rush starting to build, do at least like 10, 20 more, and then you're unstoppable for the day, right?
It is not because you cannot do it. It is because
I'll be a sales classmates. Yeah, I'm not going to go into bodybuilding or anything, but it's more for mental health. So I've got ADHD and autism, so yeah, that's what it's about, man. I'm just trying to build natural dopamine, right? ADHD is basically a lack of dopamine, low dopamine baseline. So I'll seek it through social media and stuff, right? I'll waste my time trying to find dopamine anywhere. So that's why I do the workout in the morning.
Mastery in any
And
direction,
dopamine.
provided you are willing to
Alright guys, we're at 230. I might go over the 300 if you guys, if it gets busy. So there's a lot going on, we'll keep going. Yep, yeah, it's pretty much an ADHD channel, man. I spent 20 years unmedicated trying to build my life and function without meds because the ADHD meds made me feel like I wasn't myself, right? I got heaps done, but I didn't feel like myself. I felt like I was trapped within myself, like screaming to get out. So I got away from them when I was 19. Now I'm 39 next month. Yeah. Waste a lot of time video gaming and stuff, seeking distractions and that. So yeah, please do check out the channel, man. Alright, we're at 230.
No adaptation is inevitable if effort is applied consistently. Their confidence is not arrogance, it is clarity. They do not need to be the best today because they know they can become better tomorrow. This makes them unstoppable. They outlast, outlearn, and outgrow everything.
Since about 210, they've got a lot easier. I can just flow through them now.
Their edge is not talent.
Do your best, you'll be fine. That's exactly it, man.
Plasticity of the
It's always you versus you. Oh no, I've dripped too much sweat on the paper now. We're at 240. Ooh. What should we pick next? What should we go? A bit of, you know what? We'll look up
better to have than a problem that's worth solving. Well, there isn't anything better to have than a problem forward. Doesn't matter what well, there isn't anything better to have than a problem that's worth solving. Like that's really worth solving, right? And so the more of that you take on, the more you have a reason to get out of bed in the morning, no matter what. I'm getting up, I'm trudging forward. Doesn't matter what I'm suffering from. I've got things that need to be done. They're necessary. And that gives you that sense of purpose that is the antidote to bitterness. You know, there's lots of different ways to interpret the world, and you can maybe even make a case that there's an endless number of ways to interpret the world. And the problem with that is that it kind of disorients you in terms of what you should be doing.
250.
Just because there's a very large number of ways to interpret the world doesn't mean there's a very large number of productive, meaningful, and sustainable ways to interpret the world. These people that you're comparing yourself to, you don't really know very well.
So Jay, could you give me some water, please?
You see their shiny outside, but you don't see the reality of their life. Well, first of
Water,
all,
please.
just comparing yourself to
Thank
others,
you.
because
Just bring the jug out,
God
Laura.
only knows
Come on.
what struggles they had to undertake to get to where they were, or what burdens they're currently carrying that you're not aware of.
Thank you, Dash. Appreciate it, bro.
Yourself with yourself.
Appreciate it, man.
And that's a lot
Just want to
better.
help people, dude. So every like, every sub helps. Do appreciate it, man.
Yourself slightly better
Thank you for all your support, guys. It's, you know,
I think that's something that's accessible to everyone.
It makes it all worth it here, right?
That's equivalent to leading a virtuous life. If you do not listen
Thank you,
to
love.
that thing that beckons you forward, you will pay for it like you cannot possibly imagine. You'll have everything that's terrible about life in your life and nothing about it that's good. And worse, you'll know that it was your fault and that you squandered what you could have had. Always take into account the cost of what you're doing now. Because what people tend to think is whatever I'm doing now is risk-free because of the options. But no, whatever you're doing right now has all sorts of risks. You're just
That wasn't long enough.
You've habituated.
Oh, that was all sweat. Now there's some water drops there.
Yourself in full.
I'm not trying to fake it, I swear.
Screwed up. Now that isn't so good because you're still screwing up. You're just too blind, self-blind to notice. Although in the short term, that's less painful. If you make your criteria for success a razor
We're at
sharp,
250.
you know every time you screw up. But that's great because then you can fix it. Or maybe you can adjust your damn plan. Either way, you can fix it. It seems to me you might as well make it the best one you could live in because you don't have anything better to do. These people that you're comparing yourself to, you don't really know very well. What that means is that you see their shiny outside, but you don't see the reality of their life. There's always people out there who are doing far better than you on pretty much anything you want to imagine. And if all you're doing is seeing yourself in their reflected light, let's say, then it's going to be pretty damn dismal. But it's not a good comparison because, well, first of all, there's danger in just comparing yourself to others.
Good luck on your 300. Thank you very much, Laura. I do it on here. Still on here every day, 300 push-ups minimum at the moment. I'm just trying to do it to inspire people. So we have chats and stuff about mental health and that as well. So I do appreciate that.
It is the only way. Well, it's
Got
also the only way of really
we're up to 260 right now, so we got 40 to go.
approximating proper.
We went to
You can actually tell when you're a little better than you were yesterday.
we went to 500 yesterday.
And you can actually
Yeah, Kermit the Frog. Yeah, Jordan Peterson sounded like Kermit the Frog. It always does make me laugh. That. Thank you, JB.
Pretty much, well, I don't know.
JB in the house. Great to see you, man.
You can certainly do it every day. Be careful who you share good news
I'm so proud of you, brother. Keep going. Thank you,
Share good news with people who are going to be genuinely happy for you.
Harish.
Be careful who you share bad
Harish
news
and
with,
Logan. I hope that's
because
Harish.
equally
Or
tricky.
Harish.
You want someone who'll
Harish,
listen
yeah.
to you,
Thank you very much, brother. Great to have you here.
allow you your
Whereabouts in Australia am I? I'm in New Zealand, bro. New Zealand.
to their higher
Close, though.
being, I would say. And to
We're at 260.
beauty is to introduce yourself very carefully to one of the mysteries of life that make it worth living. There's never been a better time for the majority of people to be alive. And the future, although we're vulnerable and terrible things can always happen to us, it's hard to make a case that the future doesn't look comparatively positive. We're becoming extremely
Thank you very much, guys.
sophisticated, and the world is changing at an incredibly rapid rate, and the only way we're going to be able to manage that in a positive way is if each of us, or as many of us as possible, are capable of making wise and careful and truthful decisions. And if we do that, then maybe things can continue to improve. You don't get people to stand up on their own 2 feet and to adopt responsibility if everything is given to them. And that's a real conundrum. You know, maybe you're in California, see someone speeding down the road in a convertible Porsche, and you think, oh man, what a lucky bastard. And the truth of the matter is that he's thinking about wrapping his expensive sports car around the next cement pillar that he comes close to. You know, you can't tell, and people have hard lives.
I won't count now. I don't know what that
And
was.
even people who are comparatively fortunate have hard lives. And the ideal that you're observing that makes you jealous and resentful is in large part an illusion that's created by your own mind. You have to be careful of what you're jealous of because you don't really know what it is. And then the other thing that's kind of useful is to understand you're quite different from other people, and you shouldn't be comparing yourself to them because they're not like you. They don't have your family. They don't have your temperament. They don't have your troubles. They don't have your abilities. The only person that has those is you. One of the rules, I think it's rule 4, is compare yourself to who you were yesterday and not to who someone else is today. And see, that's a game you can win. The possibility that you can make yourself slightly better on a continual basis is, I think that's something that's accessible to everyone. I think that's equivalent to leading a virtuous life. And there is something to be said for virtue and truth.
Play the cards you
And
dealt.
that is one thing. Another thing that I've noticed about people who've been phenomenally successful is that
Thank you, bro. Yeah, not my words. Jordan Peterson can certainly put it together better. So,
And you can
good,
get
right?
a bloody long ways by being honest.
this is the stuff I listen to, you know, to get me on track.
It's
So,
really important. If you go into a job and you're not smart enough for that job, you're going to have one bloody miserable time. And you're going to make life wretched for the people around you because you won't be able to handle the position. But what you really want to do, as far as I can tell, if you
we're
want
at 280. I might do some extras, guys. Let's see how we go.
and let's say well-being, is you want to
280.
find a strata of
280.
occupation in which you would have an intelligence.
Hi from Australia, Aussie girl. Hey, how are you, mate? New Zealand here.
Then you're a big
Great to
fish
be
in a
here.
small pond.
What's up? Oh, I'm just getting it done,
You
Steam.
don't want to be the stupidest guy in the room. It's a bloody rough place.
What should I do to get ready for marching band as a tuba player? Practice. Anything in life. Practice. Repeat, 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 repeat. The process is always failure. That's why it's... Failure isn't failure. Failure doesn't mean you failed. It just means it didn't go perfectly, right? And you can move forward and you learn and you keep going. Right? Just keep practicing. Practice, 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 practice. That's all it is. You know, take breaks when you need to. You know, still have a life. Don't stress yourself out over it, right? Find that balance that works for you. Make sure you enjoy it. You know, you got to remember why you got into something, right? Where's your passion? That's what's important.
Roughly speaking, and the faster you are, the more likely you are to be at the forefront of the pack. And
Right, we're at 280.
in large part is speed. That's not all
Just
it is.
working out. Fantastic, Liam.
Moving towards
just do what you can, bro. If you want to join in at any time, just try to do 5 push-ups. You know, wait a minute, do another 5 or something, right? If it's one every 5 minutes, it doesn't matter, right? It's just repeat, repeat, repeat. You see, I won't do 300 push-ups at once, right? It's 5, it's 10, right? Just cruising through it, man. Try get in, Liam. Try build up to like 100 push-ups a day, man. How many can you do in a row, Liam? How many push-ups can you do? Like, can you do 10 and then 10 a minute later or something? You know? We're at 280.
Your own personality, but then there are dimensions that you want to consider your life across. And so we ask people about, well, you know, if you could have your life the way you wanted it in 3 to 5 years, if you were taking care of yourself properly, you know, what would you want from your friendships? What would you want from your intimate relationship? How would you like to structure your family? What do you want for your career?
I won that back because I had to make all these decisions I had to make 5 years ago. Exactly what he said. I started 5 years ago. Listen to this.
And so, what are the potential sources of motivation?
Yeah.
You can think about them in the big 5 manners. You know, if you're extroverted, you want friends. If you're agreeable, you want an intimate relationship. If you're disagreeable, you want to win competitions. If you're open, you want to engage in creative activity. If you're high neuroticism, you want security. Okay, so those are all sources of potential motivation.
Okay, so this bit here is really the bit that, like, you know, listening to this kind of stuff is 5 years ago, I, you know, decided I was going to change some stuff. And it was based off what he says right here. And a lot of other things, but this was really crucial. So make sure I wind it back for you guys. There you go.
That you could draw on, that you could tailor to your own, you know, your own personality. But then there are dimensions that you want to consider your life across.
At 290.
People about, well, you know, if you could have your life the way you wanted it in 3 to 5 years, if you were taking care of yourself properly, you know, what would you want from your friendships? What would you want from your intimate relationships? How would you like to structure your family? What do you want for your career? Well, how are you going to use your time outside of your job? And how are you going to regulate your mental and physical health, and maybe also your drug and alcohol use, because that's a good place to auger down. And that tangles in your incentive reward system. You know, we talked about the dopaminergic incentive reward system, and that's the thing that keeps you moving forward. And the way it works is that it works better if it produces positive emotion when it can see you moving towards a valued goal. Okay, well, what's the implication of that? Better have a valued goal, because otherwise you can't get any positive motivation. Most creative people fail at producing their creative product and monetizing it, right? So your default position, if you're a creative person, is you're going to fail.
From New Zealand, mate. Yeah, JB. Yep. John B. Peterson, that's the one, mate.
Presented to the market at the right time, and it's hard
45. 45, Laura. Awesome, fantastic. Let's start working out what I have a lot. But I have a lot going on, like gaming and the importance of that alone. I wasted 15 years of my life gaming, bro. There's no importance to gaming. You're not building anything gaming. You're building up something, you're putting your time into something that has no return on investment. It's not like building a car to sell. It's not like building a product or a business, right? You're not building anything. Gaming isn't building anything, bro. The limited thing we have in this world is time. You're burning time. You have time, you're just spending it gaming, and you're prioritizing gaming. And then you want to make life better, but I'm too busy video gaming. Like, something's got to change, bro. You know, if nothing changes, nothing changes. If you didn't never change anything, you're going to do that same gaming and that same thing forever. You have to change something, right? I play games like hours a day, that's discipline. You might know what discipline is, bro. I was world number 2 drifter in Forza 4. Through till Forza 7. I was the second best drifter in a video game in the world, bro. I was featured on the official Forza Twitch. I was all over the official Forza pages. They were talking about me. The whole industry was talking about me, bro. It wasn't worth anything. 5 years ago, I decided I'm going to leave that and see what I can achieve in the real world. That's what I'm doing here, bro. So if you want to waste your life gaming, that's up to you, bro. That's a pretty hollow existence. It's living in comfort, bro. You're not going to find anything there. We've done the 300 push-ups already, but I'll keep going if you guys want. What's a day 1 workout? Start doing push-ups, bro. If you can do 1, and then if I do a set of 10, if you can do 1 or 2, and then, you know, wait until I do the next 10, do another 1 or 2. Find out what works for you. Day 1, I'd say just go to 50 push-ups, bro. Just 50. That would be my suggestion. But I'm like 25, so... Okay, hang on. Let's do the conversation here. Hang on, buddy. Hang on, bro. I'll make some time for you. Hang on, bro. Alright. I'll shut that off. We'll have a talk about it. Okay, but I'm like 25, so I have time. You don't have time, bro. You don't have time. When I was 25, I thought I had time. See, I'm telling you, okay, so I'm 39 next month. I'm telling you, I wasted 15 years of my life video gaming, especially like up until 5 years ago. I wasted the 10 years before that, at least, right? I'm telling you, I used to get up and the first thing I'd do was ding, turn on the video game console because I didn't have anything else to aim at. I didn't have anything else going on. So I burnt 14 hours a day video gaming, bro. That was all I did. I'd given up. I just sat in a room with the curtains drawn and I'd given up. You know what it led me to, bro? Wanting to end my life, because you get into your 30s and it's like, fuck, like, everybody else has been achieving shit and building shit and I've been sitting on my ass playing fucking video games and now I'm broke and now I'm struggling. You know? I'm not talking about it. I'm very against the whole everybody should become a billionaire and have a Bugatti. I'm against the get up at 3 in the morning and grind because, you know, that's, you've got to sleep on the office floor. Like, that's great if you want to become worth $100 million. That's what I found in the self-improvement space, is it's so at the extremes. It's either you're broke or you're bloody Andrew Tate. And it's like, no, like, you know, you want to be able to build enough that, you know, that you're paying the bills, that, you know, you can get your groceries and be like, oh, sweet, I can get whatever I want, right? You want to be able to put gas in your tank. That's what most people want, right? Most people are like, it would be nice to be a multi-millionaire or something, but, you know, you've got to look at where you're at and start to step up from there. You can't just go broke, I'm going to be you know, worth $10 million in 5 years. You know, you could set that goal, but you've got to back engineer it and make a plan. It's, you know, it's where you put your time and attention and your effort, bro. Life is so non-dopamine and so boring. Not at all, bro. Not at all. What you're getting is cheap dopamine. So what you're getting through video gaming or scrolling social media, you're still getting dopamine. You're getting all the things as if you've done something. That's what you're getting through video gaming. You're getting all the fight or flight. You're getting all the dopamine. You're getting it's fake, bro. You need to understand that everything you're getting is not real dopamine. And that dopamine, that cheap dopamine, is exactly why you feel like life is boring and there's nothing out there. Because you've saturated yourself with all this flashing lights and all this stuff. I used to play Call of Duty, Black Ops to death and all sorts, bro. It's all very engaging and all your mates are there on the mic and you go to get offline, right? And go, I'm gonna do better, right? You go to get offline and then 5 more of the boys come on. Oh no, stay for a game, 1 more round, right? You know, then you're sleeping at 4 in the morning. So, oh, wow, well, I feel tired. I feel like shit. I feel like life has no purpose. Like, yeah, you got to, like, self-fulfilling prophecy, bro. Change where you put your time. The very reason you feel life is boring and you're hiding away playing video games is because you're hiding away playing video games. That's it. I still play video games, bro, but I got rid of my Xbox One. I have a PlayStation 2. I haven't played that in about a month. Me and my missus jump on it maybe every couple of weeks for a couple of hours and play Gran Turismo 4 offline. There's no friends in my ear. There's no drama. Sometimes I'll sit at home and just do a couple of races, right? But then I can just move on. I still enjoy video games. There's nothing wrong with video games, right? But it's about moderation, bro. There's no pot of gold at the end of that rainbow, bro. You're wasting time. Like, for some people, right? Some people, oh, you know, nobody believed me. And you'll hear these odd stories of gamers who made it. Do you know how many people like try to be a professional basketball player versus how many make it, right? You've got to have some kind of plan B, some kind of structure. Is lust okay if I work? Whatever, man. All I'm saying is you got to change something, bro. You can't, like, you're by your own admission. You're like, life seems boring, so I just play video games. It's like, you got to change that, man, or else you're going to be stuck in it forever. Until you change it, until you take it upon yourself to change that. Nobody's going to do it for you. Nobody can action it. I can have all the best words and logic in the world, bro. If you can't receive it, I can't help it, right? I can't help anybody. So that's why I always say here, I have people come back here and they're like, bro, you changed my life. You da-da-da-da-da. I'm like, no, I didn't change your life, bro. I can't change your life. If anybody's scrolling past here and the people are scrolling by and I've had like 10 seconds to catch them, bro. Like, I can't, there's no way I can play that game on here to lure in subs or something. It's just, I'm talking about what I'm talking about, right? And it either resonates with somebody or it doesn't, right? So it's on the individual who takes the action. They come back and thank me. I appreciate that. That's why I do it. But it's always you guys doing it for yourselves. Just like I'm here just doing this shit for myself, right? Trying to, you know. Thank you, Jesus King. Got a horrible gambling addiction. Replace it, Daz. Replace it with something else. We had to talk about this with somebody else recently, Daz, who stopped gambling. I'm sure it wasn't you. I'm sure it was somebody with a different name, Daz. He'd stopped gambling for like a week. That wasn't you, eh, Daz? There's a fellow who'd stopped gambling, and it was because we had the conversation of like he knew exactly what he put into it over a few years, and he was hiding it from his family. He didn't like he was doing any of that and all this, right? And he went, over the X amount of years, I've lost $10,000 or something. So we immediately had data that his gambling across time was losing him money. As much as he go, oh, I win it back, and then I lose a bit, I gain a bit, whatever. You know that it's getting you into debt, it's causing problems with the family or whatever, and that you have 2 years, 3 years, whatever, of data of gambling telling you you're losing money, that the house is winning. Like, it's, if you went gambling, your gambling wouldn't be a problem, right? If you had been gambling for 5 years, and it's like, man, I'm up 50 grand, right? But obviously gambling can't work that way for people. It's a trap, right? So you need to understand the game is lost. Look at your losses over time. Calculate, hey, I've put in this much money over this much time into this. How much have I got back? If it's less than what you put in, it's not serving you. Like, you're going there trying to get a win on the pool, but you have the data, you have the evidence that it is not working, that it is not beneficial, and it's causing harm. Whereas you could put that, rather than gambling that money and taking a loss, you could go and buy a car off a deal off somewhere, and all it needs is a wash and a polish. Somebody just couldn't be bothered cleaning it up. It's so cheap. Oh, I want it gone today, you know, or something, right? I know a guy who buys up vacuum cleaners. I know a guy who goes around Facebook, buys up every vacuum cleaner he can of certain brands, certain models, waits for a cheap one to come up, takes it home, wipes it all off, cleans it, takes some good pictures of it with white background, sells them for triple the money, you know, the same day. The guy makes about $2,000 a week flipping vacuum cleaners. And he literally goes and picks them up and goes, sits there watching TV, cleaning them up, and puts a new bag in them, and I'll throw in a couple of bags, and takes something that was $40 and turns it into 300. You know? So that's a way better way of making money than that. Enough of it, man. It's destroying a lot of things. Exactly. So as I said, bro, calculate your losses. Look, that's all it is it's a mental reframe, right? So for me, giving up alcohol, it was understanding alcohol is poison. Alcohol is not a high. It's not a drug. What alcohol does is alcohol cannot be processed by the human body, so it gets turned into a poison. I can't remember the exact name of it, but it gets turned into a poison, right? So it's the feeling of being drunk isn't a high. The reason that people, like, you know, get more flirty or whatever, they lose that anxiety, they're more comfortable in a bar or whatever, or make bad decisions. The reason they're stumbling around, the reason they're slurring, is the body is shutting down systems trying to keep that person alive because it has been poisoned. So once I understood that, I gave up alcohol. And I went out to the pub the next time, and I had one drink and sat there with everyone and watched all my friends that I drank with throughout the night just slur and wander around, watch them be poisoned. Then I went there 2 more times with no drink, and then it was it. You know, it's just a couple of little mental tweaks, right? So it doesn't have to be this big complicated thing. Everybody tries to make this into like hour-long videos and all this. Oh, you've really got to change this and completely change everything to change this one thing. You don't. You need to look at the gambling and go, I know that since I started gambling, all I've done is, in the big picture, I've lost money. And the day-to-day, oh, I had a win today, that's what keeps you going. So zoom out and look at the actual loss over time, right? Yeah, Pork Chop, I'll look that up, bro. I do need to check out his channel. You said he had a good channel, so I will check it out, bro. Sorry, I've screenshot that again, man. I will check it out. Thank you for mentioning it again. The reason I didn't work out is my friend. The reason I don't work out is because my friend committed, because he was a workout addict and chased perfection. Eventually got drained chasing self-improvement. So you know, again, bro, just because it happens to one person doesn't. I ride motorcycles. I've buried multiple, all my mates I rode with as a teenager, right? I put them all in the ground. By the time I was 21, all my close circle of friends I always rode motorcycles with 3 times, 4 times a week, right? I'd been to their funerals and put them all on the ground. That doesn't mean I died in a motorcycle crash, right? I'm still here 25 years later. It's just, it's sometimes shit goes wrong, sometimes whatever, bro. But that's not like, you can't go, I'm not going to work out because a friend got committed because he got like body dysmorphia and obsessed. Okay, so you're more aware than most people that there's a risk of that and that you need to mitigate that. But that's not a reason to back away from it and go, oh, it's not for me, right? You're stuck in your own excuses, man. You need to think about it. You're stuck in your own. You got to understand that your thoughts are not who you are. Your thoughts are just thoughts, right? So your thoughts you have in your head are all the evidence of the life you've had, all the things people have said to you, all your experiences, which is why you're at where you're at now, gaming or you're gambling or whatever. So to move forward and be a new you can't be relying on the thoughts in your head telling you to do this. That's the thoughts that got you right where you are. actioning like that is what got you right where you are. If you're going to change that, you can't be listening to those voices. You have to go, no, we're not doing that. I'm going to create new evidence. I'm going to do new actions. And, you know, you've got this long of life. Like, you got a massive, imagine it's like a receipt, right? You've got a receipt this long, you know, hundreds of meters long of everything that's ever happened to you. And then you go into self-improvement and you do a couple of days of something and you've got like this much, you know, you've got one line on a receipt out of thousands and thousands and thousands of lines that are how life was, right? So you're trying to create something new. You can't be looking at the old receipt. You're looking at the, you know. It is an excuse, bro. It's all excuses. Working out as cheap dopamine is a very easy thing to do to get. No, it isn't. It's bullshit, bro. It's absolute bullshit. That's absolute bullshit. Working out is cheap dopamine. How is physical exertion cheap dopamine? It's the actual earned correct way to get dopamine, bro. Like when people went hunting and stuff, right? It's movement, right? You're trying to argue that a bunch of lights and holding a controller. You're telling me that, what, yours is harder dopamine playing on a controller. You think doing this is earning dopamine? Do you think scrolling and watching flashy things is earning dopamine and working out is easy? If working out is easy, why can't you do it? You're telling me working out is so easy, your friend got committed, you know, you don't want to take that risk of like losing your mind, getting body dysmorphia. But apparently it's so easy. You're not, you know, do you see how it doesn't all stack up, bro? Like, you know, when we start, you say one thing, and I know how it sounds like it makes sense to you, but if we actually look at the whole big picture of everything you've said here and the way you're doing things, you're justifying everything. You're making excuses. There's always a reason. There's always a reason why you can't. There's always a reason why you won't. There's always, it's like people when I go to motorcycles, I can't get a motorcycle. We had this family friend and their sister was on the back of a motorbike and she lost a toe once when they fell off one or something. So I'll never ride one. You can't live that way, man. Like, you're living in fear, bro. Press and pull-ups, 50 each for now. So you used to it. Fantastic, Jay. That's awesome, man. That's wicked, bro. I love it. Love to see it, man. Yeah, I've already done 300 push-ups here today. I don't know. We could keep going if you guys want some more. I don't mind doing a bit more. We did 500 yesterday. But regardless, like usually I'm just having a chat here and stuff, right? But we've done our 300. I had some Jordan Peterson and some Bain quotes and stuff on earlier, so that was good. Something a bit different. You know, I do try and mix it up here. I don't want it to be just me. You know, but now we're at a point where we're trying to help some people. But again, like, I can't, like, Brandon, like, I'll read that in a sec, but Brandon, like, I can't get through to you, like, straight away. You know what I mean? Like, if you're not ready, you're not ready, right? So I can't sit here and, like, dedicate the whole channel to you for an hour trying to go through your whole mindset, right? I can say some stuff now, and maybe you come back tomorrow with a slightly different mindset. Maybe put in a little bit of effort in the next week, and then we can sort of progress the conversation. But it's kind of got to the point now where I've addressed your situation so much and I've made it clear what my position is and what I think the situation is, and you don't want to face that right now. So like I can't like force it on you. You know what I mean? So I just say think about some of what I've said, bro. Maybe see if you can think a bit differently. If not, like I wish you all the best, bro. Like if you wanna play video games forever and not work out and stuff, but the fact that you've come and you're asking about working out and you stayed here the whole time, it shows that obviously something in you is wanting to grow, wanting to progress, right? So, you know, but I think I've said what I can for now, man. Working out is temporary. Working out is basically the same as eating candy for your brain. It's just cheap dopamine was, yeah, okay. Your whole life video gaming, bro, is cheap dopamine with zero benefits. The thing we have of value is time. You're giving away all your time and you're playing video games. There's no return on investment. Your bank account's not getting any bigger. You're like, what are you gaining sitting there playing video games? You're trying to convince me that, oh, I'll play video games because why bother working out? It's like, okay, if you want to do that, man, that's up to you. But like, I'm not going to have you try and like convince us that that's the way forward. You know. I think be a fly on the wall, man. Like look at your own comments, look at your own actions here, and like read it as a fly on the wall to like the tone of the chat. And if you actually read your own stuff, I'd suggest you screenshot your own comments, bro. That's what I would suggest. As Brandon is scroll up, screenshot all your own comments, go chill out, go look at them tonight. The next time you're feeling a bit down or whatever, and like I should exercise, go look at your own comments and how you've been talking in my chat, and look at that yourself, and then see what you think of yourself and your actions and how you're acting in here, and the way you're defending the very thing that's making you ask these questions, right? That'd be my suggestion, man. Appreciate the feedback on the gambling. Most welcome, Daz. Yeah, I just keep it simple, bro. I would literally get out, calculate, bro, that how much have you lost over that time. I'm willing to bet it's a loss. Not willing to bet. No betting. No bet. No bet. Don't do that. But you know what I mean? Once you can see that loss across time, you know that if you're going in there, it's pointless, right? It's not getting you anything. So, Marshall, great to see you again, mate. Great to see you, Marshall. Fantastic. Yes, exercise so good for you. Was Brand even on about? Oh, he's just making excuses, man. He's stuck. Speaking from my mind. Okay. Well, look, Brandon, like, I've given you enough attention time. You can have a 24-hour timeout, bro. If you want to come back some other time with a different attitude, you're more than welcome, bro. I feel I've put enough time at you. Now it's questionable whether you're a troll or not. I've platformed enough into those kind of topics. We've helped out Daz and stuff. I'm here to help people and give my time to help people, bro. I'm not here to talk bullshit with you. You know, you either get it or you don't. So I'll let you go away. You can ruminate on that. Yeah, 24-hour timeout, bro. Like, I'm not going to ban you or anything. But, you know, 24 hours, go away, think, reframe, decide what you actually want to do with your life. Because, you know, you're sitting there justifying that, trying to convince me that why bother working out? You should just play video games. It's like go play your fucking video games then, bro. See where they get. I'm only 25. I've got plenty of time. It's like, okay, you wait till you're 35. 35 and like alone and broken, going, oh fuck, what do I do with my life? I've gained no skills. Nobody wants to employ me now. I've got to build my own business and shit. Ta-da! You know, for somebody who doesn't want to end up like me, you're sure as fuck doing a good job going down the same wrong path. Your choice, man. Defo Aussie, aren't you? Maybe Kiwi. I am a Kiwi, mate. I'm a Kiwi. No, I am not. No, I'm not. No small hats. See, you would have seen a small hat. We don't do any politics, religious arguments, or anything, guys. My channel is all about taking control of your own life in the least subtle way possible. I'm going to mute the mic for a sec because I'm going to go take a piss. All right? So you sit there. Sorry, guys. I was just getting some vape juice and stuff as well, talking to Susie. Refuse to think of any type of watching explicit videos is good for you. Yeah, again, yeah. That's exactly what I'm saying, was saying to the guy. Is, you know, earned dopamine is everything, right? This is why the world's so distracted. This is why people go their whole lives and don't achieve anything, because they're looking at politics and putting their attention there, and this is all amping them up. Andrew Huberman did some great stuff on that. On the after school channel. Dopamine fasting. Maybe I should do some more push-ups and I'll put on the dopamine fasting story. I think we'll do that. If you guys, I had some music, not music going, but I put on some like podcast type stuff and that, right, in the background. So if you guys want to listen to that, I think I might do some more push-ups so you guys can actually listen to that if you want to stay. But you know, if the vibe's off, I don't know. As always, trial and error with YouTube, right? So it was dopamine fasting. Andrew Huberman after school. There's a channel called After School with a K, AFTERSKOOL, After School. So we got, oh shit, it's not the shop too well. Is the camera visible here? Here we go, right. Sorry, this is my old phone. This is what I built the whole channel on, was this phone. So I've only just replaced my phone, but you got Maximize Dopamine After School, this channel. The After School channel. Sorry, it's very hard to read, but yeah, After School with a K. Screenshot that if you want. That's another great channel, right? So they kind of just animate like podcast stuff in that, right? So what have I done here? We'll go back. Dopamine fasting, right? So we've got dopamine fasting here, this video. So listen to this, I'll do some more push-ups. 1 second, I'll just flip this back round. Let's meet you properly. I'm going to go now, 1 in the morning. Most welcome, bro. Not suggesting anything bad, but why work out with no supplements or roids? You get so much progress and it feels amazing. Because it kills you, bro. Steroids kill you. That's why bodybuilders and shit drop dead in their 40s, or Ziz died when he was like 22. There's this stuff in your heart is a muscle. It makes your heart like 3 times the size and shit, and it's too much strain. This is the problem with the culture now with the whole steroids thing. Is when I first got Instagram, when I made this channel, I went on there, and the moment I started finding fitness stuff, it was normal, and then it was trend, and it just kept pumping this stuff at me. And that's what everybody thinks it is now. Like the new generation are being sold courses, sold an image, right? You don't need arms this big. Like, what am I going to do with arms this big when I ride motorcycles? I want to race motorcycles. Like, you've got to build a body for what you're doing. If you're trying to do steroids, I'm like, unless, like, what are you going to do with that? Do you want to be a bodybuilder and build a social media brand as an influencer doing bodybuilding stuff? Okay, cool. That would be, I guess, the exception. But again, it's those kind of people who have made this perception that steroids are everything and gym culture, whatever. It's not about that, man. It's about health. This was meant to be about health. Fitness is meant to be about health. It's not meant to be about getting arms this big to impress everybody else, right? And get validation and get girls or some bullshit, right? Deadlifting 750 pounds right now. I would, you're deadlifting 750 pounds. I would say, Dan, you're pro that Brandon guy on another account. Just grifting, just wasting people's time talking about being a video gamer and that. And now you've come back on a second account. Again, just reinforcing my point that you're wasting your time and putting your efforts in the wrong direction. I'd say that's what's going on here. Little man complex. Rory drinks your sausage and makes you think you're Rocky. Yep. Yeah. We want to be Bullwinkle, not Rocky, right? Yeah, I get what you mean about Rocky Balboa. Right, I'm going to put on this dopamine fasting thing so some of you guys can understand about dopamine, right? So I'm going to play this in the background. I'm going to do more push-ups. I've already done 300. Well, I don't know. I'm just going to put this on. Screw it. Whatever.
Hi, After Schoolers. I'm Brandon from the YouTube channel 1% Better, and you're watching this because you want to overcome your addictions and restore your motivation. Let's get to it. We live in a world that is designed to stimulate our emotions.
No, I want the one where
advertisement,
no, I don't want you talking about it. I wanted the Andrew Huberman one, not you. Where's the
release of dopamine?
There we go.
I think one of the most important findings in the last few years in neuroscience is that while the molecule dopamine is associated with reward, it's more about motivation and craving. There's a really classic experiment now that people use to demonstrate this. You take 2 rats, and the rats independently, separate cages, can lever press for food, or they can access food. There's a little bit of dopamine that's released anytime they get some food, so we always thought that food, like many other rewards, like food, sex, warmth when you're cold, cool when you're too warm, is triggering the release of dopamine. But someone had the good idea to deplete dopamine in one of those animals, and then what you find is that the animal without dopamine still enjoys food, still enjoys other pleasures. So dopamine's not really involved in the enjoyment of those pleasures. It's involved in motivation, because if you make the animal have to move just
310.
one rat's length, believe it or not, to get to that lever, the animal with dopamine will work to go get
10
that
minutes.
thing. It will work through some effort to go get the reward. Whereas the animal, or it turns out the human without much dopamine, can still experience pleasure. They can sit on their couch and cram their face with pleasure-inducing calories or what have you, watch pleasure-inducing things on the television, but they have very little motivation to go pursue things that will deliver them pleasure. It's actually what's really driven the forward evolution of our species has been the desire to go seek things beyond the confines of our skin. And when I say the common currency is dopamine, what I mean is the molecule dopamine, when secreted in the brain, makes us pursue things, build things, create things, makes us want new things that we don't currently already have. And so it has a lot of dimensions to it, but rather than think about dopamine as a signal for reward, like a dopamine hit, we classically talk about it, it's more accurate really to think about dopamine as driving motivation and craving to go seek rewards. That's the rat experiment. And it's a way of tabulating where we are in our life. Are we doing well or are we doing poorly? And that happens on very short time scales. Like, do you wake up feeling good? Or do you wake up feeling kind of low? Or on long time scales. If you're halfway through a long degree or you're halfway through your life, how are you doing? How do you gauge that? Well, it has everything to do with how much dopamine you were releasing in the previous days and weeks and years. So you're always comparing it, and all of this is subconscious. But what's cool is that once you make these processes conscious, once you understand a little bit about how dopamine is released and how it changes our perspective and our behavior, then you can actually work with it. And so we go back to this example of the person that's not motivated, that can't get off the couch, that doesn't want to do anything. Well, this is the problem. They are effectively the rat with no dopamine, but they can still achieve some sense of pleasure by consuming excess calories, by consuming social media. And look, I'm not judging. I do this stuff too, right? Scrolling social media. If you've ever scrolled social media and you're like, I don't even know why I'm doing this. It doesn't really feel that good. And I can remember a time where you'd see something that was just so cool, or you see something online. I remember this when TED Talks first came out. I was like, this is amazing. These are some
340.
really smart people sharing really cool insights. And then now that there are like a gazillion TED Talks, I remember spending a winter in my office when I was a junior professor, cleaning my office finally, and binging TED Talks in the background, thinking this is a good use of my time. Pretty soon, they all sucked to me. I was like, this isn't good. So what you need to do is stop watching TED Talks for a while, wait, and then they become interesting again.
It's about
and that's
source,
the
right?
pleasure balance.
Whether it's earned
So
or it's
for
just...
people that aren't feeling motivated, the problem is they're not motivated, but they're getting just enough or excess sustenance. So they're getting the little mild hits of opioid. It becomes an opioid system. And if you think about the opioid drugs as opposed to dopaminergic drugs make people rabid for everything. You know, drugs of abuse like cocaine and amphetamine make people incredibly outward directed. Right? They hardly notice anything except what they want more of. More. It's bad because those drugs
Nobody's
trigger
perfect.
so much dopamine release that they become the reward. It's very circular. Only the drug can give that much dopamine. Nothing they could pursue would give them as much dopamine as the drug itself. So there's that, and then there's the kind of opioid-like effects of constantly indulging oneself with social media or with video games or with food or with anything to the point where it no longer evokes the motivation and craving. And this is really the new evolution of the understanding of dopamine in neuroscience, which is that dopamine itself is not the reward. It's the build-up to the reward. And the reward has more of a kind of opioid bliss-like property, which itself is not bad if it's endogenous, released from within. But when we can just sit there like the rat with no dopamine, gorging ourselves with pleasures, so to speak, what you end up with is somebody that feels really unmotivated, and those pleasures no
Only
longer
English, sorry.
tickle those feel-good circuits, and so there's no reason for them to go out and pursue anything. The problem is not pleasures. The problem is that pleasure experienced without prior requirement for pursuit is terrible for us. It's terrible for us as individuals. It's terrible for us as... The problem is not pleasures. The problem is that pleasure experienced without prior requirement for pursuit is terrible for us. It's terrible for us as individuals. It's terrible for us as groups. And I have great confidence in the human species to work this out. But we are finding now, and we are going to increasingly find, that those who will be successful, young or old, are going to be those people who can create their own internal buffers. They're going to be able to control their relationship to pleasures, because the proximity to pleasures and their availability is the problem. If you look at the increase in use of drugs of abuse or prescription medication, which, at least at the first pass, deliver pleasure, pain relief, the whole issue with the opioid crisis, and dopaminergic drugs like Ritalin, Adderall. There is sometimes as a clinical need, but tons of people are taking those recreationally now or to study. Huge dopamine increases are what those cause.
What goes up must come
That is a
down.
problem. That's a serious
Same with the
problem
energy drinks and
because
stuff.
it creates a cycle where you need more of that specific thing. I would say addiction is a progressive narrowing of the things that bring you pleasure.
God, that's such a good definition.
And I don't like to comment too much on enlightenment because, I don't really know what that is as a neurobiologist, but a good life, we could say, is a progressive expansion of the things that bring you pleasure. And even better, a good life is a progressive expansion of the things that bring you pleasure and includes pleasure through motivation and hard work. And understanding this pain-pleasure balance whereby if you
380.
experience pain and you can continue to be in that friction and exert effort, the rewards are that much greater when they arrive. And so I think that if you look at any drug of abuse or any situation where somebody isn't motivated or thinks that, now they may have clinically diagnosed attention deficit hyperactivity disorder, but a lot of what people think is ADHD, it turns out, is people just over-consuming dopamine from various sources. And also the context within a TikTok feed is, the context switch is insane. The brain has never seen, first of all, this is the first time in human evolution that we wrote with our thumbs, but that's a pretty benign shift. And then the other shift.
Before he gets into this, I'd just like to discuss really quickly. When they do these studies, they always look at short form content, and it's a context switch every 30 or 60 seconds, as if you're watching a 60-second short in its entirety. And they're like, oh, your brain is seeing a new thing every 60 seconds or 30 seconds. It's not. How many shorts do you scroll by that you see a second of? Then you watch 20 seconds of one, then you scroll, or this or that or whatever, right? It's more like it's changing every 5 seconds on average, right? But they don't look at it this way when they study it. And the effects are horrific, but how much worse are they really, right? Eduardo, hello, brother. Great to see you.
Normally you walk from one room to another, or from a field into the trees, or from a hut or a house, or whatever it is. But now you can get 10,000 context switches in that 30 minutes of scrolling on Instagram or TikTok. And so it's all about self-regulation. We are going to select for the people that can self-regulate. And so then people say, well, how do you self-regulate? How do kids self-regulate? Well, this is my hope, and one of the reasons I've gotten excited about public education and teaching neuroscience is that
What's up, bro? Good pump. Thank you, bro.
Knowledge actually can
390.
to intervene when you think, I'm feeling low, I don't feel good.
Every day, man, 300.
Am I depressed? Maybe. But maybe
Great to see you.
you've saturated the dopamine circuits.
Drop a sub, Andy. Make sure you come by, bro. We get into some pretty deep talks. We're listening to this at the moment.
Stop. You
Sorry.
need to replenish dopamine. You need to stop. It really feels like, am I depressed? Maybe. But maybe you've saturated the dopamine circuits. You're now in the pain part of things.
Yep.
What do? Well, you have to stop. You need to replenish dopamine.
When dopamine goes up, it has to come back to baseline, right? So like you over celebrate a win, you have really good things happen, you have a crazy weekend, right? You have to come, you've got your baseline dopamine. If you spike it up, it's gonna have to come down to the same amount below your baseline, then come up again. Which is why you have to be careful, like over celebrating things, getting over amped up and that, right? You've got to keep that flow and try and regulate the dopamine, right? Which is why I had to give up the energy drinks and caffeine and Coca-Cola and stuff, because it's too much for me. It overstimulates me, then I get angry, then I want to break stuff and lose my shit, and my mind goes into these spirals of depression and stuff, right? So reducing the stimulants and earning it through the push-ups has been a really vital thing for me. Yes, sir, I subscribe. Fantastic, bro. Need a dopamine fix, you're depleted. Push-ups, bro. I've just done 390. You're welcome to join me for any of them, man. Done 390. We just go to 400 while we listen to this. 10-minute little bit here from Andrew Huberman.
You need to stop, and it really feels like, am I depressed? Maybe. But maybe you've saturated the dopamine circuits. You're now in the pain part of things. What do? Well, you have to stop. You need to replenish dopamine. You need to stop engaging with this behavior, and then your pleasure for it will come back. But you have to constantly control the hinge. It's not just about being back and forth on the seesaw. You have to make sure the hinge doesn't get stuck in pain or in pleasure. Understanding that pain and pleasure are in this really dynamic balance can also help us in the following way. any pain that you feel, the longer day, the less sleep, the kind of agony that things aren't working, that
400.
power outlet doesn't work, or the internet is slow, whatever it is, the amount of pleasure that you will eventually experience is directly related, to how much pain you experience. So we know this from actually what nowadays would be considered quite barbaric and unethical experiments, where they would give people electrical shocks and they would measure their response. And then they'd say, we're going to increase it. Eventually they get to the point where a shock that was previously very painful actually evokes a sense of pleasure. Now, you couldn't do these experiments anymore. These are not the experiments I do in my lab. These are older experiments. But, for instance, and this has been discussed in
Team Ola, yo,
giving
14.
like a 10-minute ice bath, for instance, or even a 3-minute ice bath, or a 1-minute ice bath. It's quite painful. But there was a study from University of Prague, European Journal of Physiology, showed that after a painful ice bath stimulus, the amount of dopamine release goes up for 2.5 hours to 250% above baseline. And that's not because the ice bath itself evokes dopamine release. A lot of people think, oh, cold water evokes dopamine release. No, pain evokes dopamine release after the pain is over. Just understanding the more friction and pain that you experience,
420.
the greater the dopamine
420.
you will get later, and that serves as its own amplifier of the whole process of pursuing more dopamine. So the keys are to pursue rewards, but understand that the
Push-ups.
pursuit is actually the reward if you want to have repeated wins.
Talk soon.
Then what you realize is your capacity to tap
I'll talk
into
soon, guys.
So the
Just
key,
want to finish this up.
just understanding the more friction and pain that you experience, the greater the dopamine reward you will get later, and that serves as its own amplifier of the whole process of pursuing more dopamine. So the keys are to pursue rewards, but understand that the pursuit is actually the reward if you want to have repeated wins. Then what you realize is your capacity to tap into dopamine as a motivator, not just seeking dopamine rewards, that is infinite.
So there we go. It's a little bit on sort of how the dopamine system and stuff works from Andrew Huberman there. The After School YouTube channel. After School SKOOL. Check out that channel. They take sort of podcasts and animate them and stuff. Great to see you, Team Ola. How's the hurricane going? It moved a bit east. We got a bit of wind, but it ended up being, it dodged me mostly. It ripped some of the paper off a little, but like it's real minor, so we got away with one there. I'm really glad. Got through it. Did 500 push-ups on the deck yesterday during the hurricane. So I made that video public as well. If you want to check it out, it's on my live tab from yesterday. Like some of it was a bit gusty, but yeah, it wasn't too bad. It was worse overnight. So I keep going. I was at 420. Did I just do another 10? I don't know. I think I was about to. 420 push-ups. We could go to 500 or something. We're close enough. Do I use that barbell? What exercises do you choose of 8? I'm trying to figure out what's the best for getting lean and strong. I use the barbell sometimes, bro, but like I just bench press it like very rarely. Like I haven't touched that thing for 2 or 3 months. It's usually the missus who uses it. It's my missus who uses it for squats and stuff. So I had the cage, and then I met her, and then she had a proper Olympic weight bar and decent weights. I just had like a real cheap bar with like some green plastic weights on it. I only had like 40-pounder weights or something. See, I've been doing the push-ups and that. Yeah. I've done like 420 push-ups already. We had a bit of a break, and yeah. We'll go into more chat-based now, I think. I think we'll probably do for today. 420, bro. 420, bro. There we go. Bit of a laugh. Here's your happy days. Right, well, there you go. That's today's push-ups done. I thought we were going to stop at like 300, but there you go. There's 420. 420 push-ups. We're getting that pissed off kangaroo physique. You can see it's building up a lot. You can see how much it builds up here, right? There we go. As I say, you know, I don't do it for the physical gains. I do it for the mental gains, right? I do it for the dopamine and stuff. Amazing geezer. Amazing. He's an amazing geezer. He's an amazing geezer. Lovely jubbly. Lovely jubbly. Oh, mate, I've got to get... I can't even remember how to tuck my thumbs in properly. We're going to have to start from day one with me here, Ola. But I'm doing all right, man. I'm doing all right. I do want to take the... Like, I did fight training a long time ago with a MMA coach roommate he was an MMA coach, and he taught me, you know, we trained twice a week for a good couple of years, but I still can do it in the moment, but it's, yeah, I would like to sort of refine things up a bit. I've lost the memory of a lot of it, so I'm gonna get WhatsApp today, Timola. Your partner gave me your number to contact you. So you were saying to email you. I'm like, dude, at the rate we're gonna talk with us both ADHD and the speed our brain works, we'll just audio call it, bro, and I'll just have you while I'm doing other shit, and we'll just fucking yap. We'll work it out. We're gonna build something big here, Timola. I have schemes, my friend. I have schemes. What can you drink or eat to increase your dopamine? I wouldn't try and increase your dopamine through food. I'd try and do it through exertion, just for keeping loose. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, man, we'll sort something out. It'll be way bigger. We're early days, bro, so don't stress it all over. You know, one thing I'm thinking in our head between me and Team Ola here, man, we're talking about the next 5-10 years plus of stuff. So we'll make it something, you know, make it something solid. When I have a moment to, you know, we'll work it out, bro. I'm thinking, I'm mulling about what we're you know, and you can do the same, mate. We'll bash it out, mate. We'll see what we can do here, eh? Should incorporate weightlifting, in my opinion. Like to watch the lives and love to see variation. All right, yeah, I try and usually do the variation that I'm like building the house, working on cars, a bit of everything. But yeah, I am definitely going to get on the weight bench a bit more. I just don't want to be, you know, benching hundreds of pounds, or anything. It's not really a thing. And honestly, when I bench, the viewers are just real, like, if you're in the background doing a workout and, like, never come talk to people, I think that's quite a problem. Like, for Ola here, one thing I want to talk about with Ola when we talk is about, like, making sure he brings the mic with him, being close to camera, like, giving a lesson like he was, the viewers go up and stuff, whereas, you know, it's like, you can have the camera outside, bro, and do all that, but you want to crop everything in a lot more, so it's not the whole garage, so you're not so distant, right? I know you need it out to get the internet connection, right? But just use a zoom pinch on your screen, and the little things like that are like, I think, make a difference, man. But I'll talk to you about this. There's a whole heap I want to talk about there, but I'm not going to discuss it publicly, right? I'll help you out in private on that one, bro. Multi-talented, multifaceted. The moment I saw multi-talented, I thought of multifaceted, and, you know, look, and you typed it. There's some kind of there's something going on between me and old Ola here across the planet. Some kind of telepathy going. You know, if you put us in one of those it's a fucking movie. Why do I always forget the name of that movie? They had the kaijus, monsters, right? And they built the big robots that had two people that were like neurally compatible to operate one. Me and Ola in one of those on a Jaeger. I can't remember the name of the movie though. Great minds think alike. Quantum entanglement. Yeah. What the fuck was the name of the movie? They made like a second one, whatever. But they were building walls to like keep these kaijus out from like coming out of the ocean and whatever. They built these big Jaeger, like big like mech warrior things to fight back. Yeah, I can't remember the name of the fucking movie. Yeah, that's what makes me think of. Sorry, Eduardo, I can't understand that, mate. Translates to push-ups, thanks a lot. Bench like only 155 pounds because it's intermediate. Yeah, I mean, I'm benching about, I do like 135 pounds. It's 60 kilos, so the bar's 20 kilo, and I stick a 20 kilo on each end of it. One thing I want to get better at is the pistol squats and stuff as well. This league I can't do it with the weight, but this league I can, usually. I can just do it with a... My missus does these better than me. But she was impressed when I decided to do my first pistol squats holding a weight. She was impressed I could do it. So I'll probably bring this up a little late. I'll try and do a couple, but don't. You know, I'm not good. I'm not a professional at this stuff, guys. Oh, this is quite slippery. It's a bit wet. Sorry, I'm really clumsy at these still. I can only do probably a couple with this weight. Hang on. Oh shit. Just gotta watch that knee buckle, that's all. Yeah, that's enough with that weight, I think, for me. I'm gonna do it more with the 10 kilo. It's 44 pound. So this knee, from my knee injury, ankle injury and hip, this knee wobbles and like collapses when I try to do them. Like here. But I find the weight's good to hold out for balance. That's what my missus taught me. I hope that was the variation you wanted there, Jeffrey. a tour of your home on a video one day. Oh, yeah, man, I can give you a bit of a tour. Probably see your video on Insta. I used to wander around the property here a lot and stuff, but it's not too much going on here, man. Just a garage and a... I don't know, have you seen the garage, Ola? What I've sort of got going on with cars and bikes and that? Really love New Zealand. Well, you'll be over here someday, bro. You'll be over here, I'm sure. It's bound to happen. How many pounds do I have of plates here? I don't know. If Susie's in the chat, if Susie's on the channel, she'll probably let you know in the chat. I'm not sure. I know it's a 20 kilo bar, so it's a 44 pound bar. I'd say it's probably a couple of £100 of weight here. I'm not sure, man. You haven't seen the garage and stuff, Ola. All right. Yeah, all right. I've done 420 push-ups, so just give me a moment. I'm going to mute the mic and go toilet real quick because nobody wants to hear that. And I'll be back in. Give me 30 seconds, guys. We'll go down the garage. I'll show Ola the project down there, the chaos. Alright guys, we're going to be doing the MTV Cribs tour in a moment. It is like, it's still a building site, right? It's a construction site, so, you know, I don't give a fuck what anybody says. I know my regulars and stuff, people who know me and know my channel, just be like, fucking good job, bro. So, but there's always negative people and whatever, like this. I got all the fence posts in, but I've got cars built, I've got other shit going on, so I'm not going to waste my time making fence panels, right? I've just put some iron there, it keeps the dogs in, right? Things don't have to be perfect, but I used to have like stakes in the ground that held up a bit of fence, but every time it got windy, they'd blow over and the dogs would get out. So I went, okay, we'll put in some posts, but don't make it perfect. Hope all is well. Great to see you, mate. How are you? Amazing, absolutely, including weight. Yeah, 115 kilo total we've got, including the weight bar. So what's that, about 250 pound probably, isn't it? Somewhere around there. All right, so I had it stapled up there, so the storm damaged just the top of there and knocked some of those off. That's fine. Here, it ripped them off there a little bit. I know that's black mold. I know it's only temporary, but we're going to clean it off there. It doesn't matter. It's just some ply I threw up. But I've just cut out for the doors here today. I just started cutting all this open, so all this was covered up for the storm. All right, so we've got French doors here that you look out sort of across the valley. The whole idea of this fence is like you get quite high wind, so I still want light to come through and beam in the morning. So you'll see on my morning streams, you'll see like the strings of light coming through here. Stuff like that. So just nosy people, there's a road and neighbour over there. So, you know, it blocks it perfectly that way. You know, but like if it's high wind and stuff, so I'm going to, once the caravan's gone out of here, there's another cabin I've started building there. I've put some of the posts in, right? So the caravan's going to go out of here, and from here there'll be cabin, deck down to the other cabin. Right, and it's all sort of, I'm going to put angles across from here, across to there. It will be retained about here, right? So it'll all kind of hexagon around the tree here. All this dirt is going to come and fill in. Once I've got this out of here and retained it, all that mound is going to come in here, fill everything out, right? So there's a plan. So we've got one deck done here. That deck cost me $1 because somebody had bought a house with a 3-year-old Quila deck, right? But they want wider boards, so they tore it up, and then they sell it for $1 because they go, it's going to cost us hundreds of dollars in dump fees, right? So I dug out all of here, so we can, and that's what all that is. So that's the first deck, and see, I've just uncovered the front here. I didn't show that. Hang on. I did like Wilson from Castaway on the top of here. After I'd weaved all this through, I'm going to sort of frame the bottom and top like I did with this. I'll just test run it, so I've got a bit of, just to cover up that and stuff, right? So do one at the bottom, one at the top. It's kind of weaved through. But yeah, I cut the top all uneven. It's like Wilson from Castaway, the volleyball. Right? So yeah, it's all, you know, temporary stairs and shit. But you know, the deck was $1 for all the timber. And there's all the other timber that came for the $1, you know. So that'll build this whole deck. You know, so I'm about, honestly, Ola, The most expensive part is the bags of concrete and the posts to put H5 post in the ground, and the floor timber. That's usually about, you pay about 800 quid for all that, right? I mean, this whole thing, though, like those metal beams here, right? They came from a stadium they were building. They were left over from a stadium build, these big beams. I got all of them for $20, you know? So this is about the whole thing done, dusted with the decks, everything, all lined inside, insulation and everything, right? You're coming out about £2,000, maybe 2,500, right? But you can't, this kind of sleep out, you can't have a kitchen or bathroom and stuff in it technically, right? So that's what that's for. So once we don't have beds in there, I'm going to make that more of a full kitchen. So you start out with a caravan on bare land, and then you can use its kitchen, use its bathroom. And then once this is done, I'll take the beds out of there and just put bigger benches in and make it more of a dedicated kitchen, right? And then it's staying completely legal because you're allowed to have a caravan around and stuff, right? But all this was all downhill. As you can see, I've filled in some of it. But once the caravan's gone, there'll be another deck there. There'll be fence like that all the way along the back. You know, there's a scheme. There's a scheme. We'll head down to the, I think England's £15. Yeah, fuck that. Just get some land somewhere, bro. Whatever suits. I'm just like, that's why everything is built in steel frame, including the garage and stuff, because I don't own this land, bro, right? So build everything here, buy the water tanks, buy the water pumps, get all the stuff I need, and then I can take the garage apart and take it with me, right? That's the plan. So like here, I've dug out here, that's just, again, it's just temporary fencing, right? Keep the dogs in. Right, so that stops the dogs getting out. That's an old rubbish pile of all the crap I've been binning, you know. We'll head down the hill a bit. Yeah, so yeah, I mean, there's just chaos everywhere, bro. So I stripped out this little crash little Ford Fiesta not long ago. I grabbed that and on sale. This is the garage I've been building, and it's not perfect, but again, that garage cost me about £1,200 for everything. Right, there's me Overlander. Big old Land Cruiser. It's a dream truck I wanted, you know, for a long time, so it's good to have that, right? Just built this one. So fully repainted engine bay. I haven't had the heads off the motor, but all the time everything got done on it, right? I've been building that. That one's, I'm about to sell this, right? I'm just finishing it up. All the stuff here is, you'll like this kind of stuff, Ola. So all this is like retail slat board that you have in like a fishing shop or something instead of ply on the wall, right? So instead of pegboard, you get this kind of pegboard, and it's all like, you can get it in black with chrome inserts and stuff like that. There's an old classic Mini, you know. So, you know, just bit, you know, classic Mini grill there, and that came out. My mate passed away from cancer and stuff, and I got his tools and stuff off the family, and got a lot of stuff that was, you know, stuff he had on display and that. So same as my race bike there. So, you know, these jars are handy, right? Like, you know how old guys always use those glass jars, right? And you see them screw them up, but then you break them and you end up with glass and a pile of bolts there, right? Now I haven't labeled them yet, and it would be nice if they were clear, but these are all my protein, you know, protein powder and electrolyte containers, right? Just screw the lid up. Again, it's just on these hooks, these slack-wall hooks, right? So I've got slack-wall hooks you can hang under, and then above it's just Quila decking timber offcuts. So the person I got that deck off for $1, they threw in all these thick, wide offcuts from their new deck. Right, so you use plastic, yeah, exactly. You know, it's never going to break, right? Oh, hang on. And as far as lighting, right? I just got these string lights from like a hardware store, right? It's 6 lights on a string for like $20, right? So just run those around. Like it's again, good enough for now. It doesn't have to be perfect, right? Just blah, 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 toolbox, yeah. Big truck. Got the bikes here. Got Susie's bike we just got for her. She's learning to, I'm teaching her how to ride, so that's her little 250, little beastie. And that's my 1400. Big old girl, Kawasaki. Big old girl. So, you know, I wanted this bike for 20 years, got it last year, and someday I'll get a GoPro on there and put a video up for you, eh? But yeah, just bit by bit, day by day, like you learn things, like all the leaves here is because when I did the roof, you're meant to fold up the edge of the iron. So I just got to get up there, take the cap off, and just bend everything up and stuff. Otherwise, you know, it gets a bit grubby in here. But some Ford Fiesta seats. That's another bike I'm building. Got my main project car here, bro. My main C32 there. As you can see, yeah, I mean, since I started more getting into cars and trying to build an empire and stuff, my own personal car, my own build has sat. I haven't touched it much for like 7 years, man. But you know, it's been through. You know, I built this garage. I had nothing 3 years ago, and you know, it's chaos, as you can see. I had 3 rented buildings, bro, storing parts and cars and all that, and then after COVID, the economy collapsed, and all the guys into these like Nissans, you know, they're tradies and stuff, right? They're a fucking, you know, £8,000 to £15,000 car, right? Those kind of people were the first to run out of money. You know, they buy them in their 20s. They're doing their apprenticeship. You know, they've got a missus, now they're getting a mortgage there. You know, they've got responsibilities. They're having kids, right? So when all the COVID, sort of after that, as the recession hit, it was like all their misses, like I'd go and buy them off people, and all their misses was either like, you can either keep it and stick it in the corner and we'll put money into it later, or we're selling it to pay off credit card debt, you can have another one later, whatever. Those were the decisions people were making, right? Just so you know, I'm completely stoked for you. 20 years is a long time to wait for something. Thank you, bro. Thank you, bro. You pretty much lost it all about years ago with alcohol and stuff. And nearly sank, right? A lot of my life did sink through that, so I've been fighting my way back for 3 years, bro. Met my partner about a year ago, and yeah, since then, dream truck, dream bike, like just belief, right? Just add loads of little bits of extra work, right? It doesn't have to be hard grind, because you just burn yourself out, right? It's just little rewards and moving forward. There's certainly a lot better I can do. There's a lot more improvements I can make, but that's the journey of life, right? You're never done. We're never finished. I quite like this new phone. Look at that. I don't know what the quality's like for you guys, but I look crystal clear in my ugliness on here. But yeah, I hope that gives you some insight, bro. Like, again, like, I'm not hyper successful, you know. I saw a reel from like a car building guy recently, and it was like, you know, if you don't have money and you want to have nice shit, you're just going to have to buy some broken shit and learn how to fix it and make it into nice shit. Like you were talking about making those planter boxes and stuff, bro, you know. If you can't afford nice shit, you can build nice shit. It's like, even my truck was way cheaper than any other on the market because they had all these issues and nobody else wanted to touch it. It's like, well, I'm a mechanic, I can fix it. I didn't do it to make money off it. I did it to enable me to get the tool I wanted, right? I'm all about tools, not toys, right? So, like, even buying a motorbike, I'm not buying it to be a toy to show off to other people. I'm buying it to use it to enable having an experience. It's like, if you want to go snowboarding, you need a snowboard, or you can rent one or whatever, right? If I want to pick up project cars and stuff, I need a car trailer, right? So a car trailer, you know, it's not a toy, but neither is, like, even the phone I've just got, it's not a toy. It's not I want a nice phone. It's, I need it for editing. I want to build a YouTube here. I'm trying to, you know, so it's about, you know, always aiming in that right direction with your choices and stuff, right? Yeah, successfully doing what I want to do. Yep. Exactly, yep, man. But yeah, as I said, like, it all just bolts together, right? So I can get out there. Like, that entire garage, that's a 6-car garage, right? That's a 6-car garage. If I need to take it down and get it out of here, you give me 2 days, I'll get that entire thing out and it can flat pack. That's the joy of steel construction, bro, is you can flat pack everything down. Like, I can take my cabin, my garage, everything, water pumps, everything but pretty much a water tank, right? I could fill up a 40-foot container and ship it to the other side of the world, right? If I so chose, right? So it's all about enabling that versatility rather than, I used to not try and progress because I was like, you know, I'm pursuing a stability I can't afford. I can't afford to buy land. I can't do it. How am I going to have any stability, right? So this allows me some of that, right? And it allows me to not build a bunch of stuff on this land and never see a penny of it again, right? Like, worst case, I can sell off the garage and pile of pieces. I can sell off this cabin and bits and bobs to people, give it away or something, right? Somebody can do something with it, right? It's not just sitting on this land forever, right? Yeah, mate. Most welcome, mate. Most welcome, Ola. Yeah, we can do something like that, mate. We'll go on an adventure, mate. Go on an adventure, mate. So the flights, I have another mate in the UK who was looking at coming over here at one point and stuff, and yeah, the flights look pretty cheap. We were actually, at one point we were trying to get him to do like the London Marathon as a challenge for his mind. And I said we'd fly over and support him in that, but he's sort of, it's not the path he wants to go down with things, so it's all good. I'll come get the rest of these bottles later. Doing the same thing on my farm. Solar power, rainwater bits. Each quadrant separate tanks. Yep. Flat pack barn. That's it, bro. That's it. That's it, bro. You already know. I already know you. You get it, bro. You already know what direction you're going with it. Hello, dog. But yeah, I just took sort of the wrap off there, so that's sort of done. But obviously I need to put in more framing and stuff here. But when you're building it from scratch from no plans, kind of set the windows in, then I'll mark everything. I'll stick the framing and then take the windows out, wrap everything, blah, blah, blah. You get the idea. You get the idea. You alright there, dogs? Oh, oh, jeez. Oh, I have to turn that fan off. Nothing repels viewers like that fan whistling. Oh, I'm not even going to try and put that in the cupboard right now. Yep, German Shepherd, mate. Yep, Heidi, and then Zed's a pit bull. Hey, Zed boy, yeah. He's a pit bull. No, we good. We reconnected for a moment. Hey, Zed, you want to come? Heidi, leave him. Zed, sit. Hey, big boy. Yeah, sit. Heidi, leave him. Can I have your attention, please? Well, the rest of them shady. Sit. Why you got blood on your neck? Okay. Weird. And you got a big eye booger. Come here, come sit. Heidi away. We'll see if we can get this to work. Zed, sit. Sits. Good boy. Wait on. Listen. Have a right shake. Right shake. No, sit. Dude. Really? Sit. Come on. Thank you. Listen. Right shake. Good boys. Listen. Left shake. Good boys. Have a touch. Touch. Good boy. You're such a good boy. You're so clever. You're so clever. You're so clever. Heidi, out of there. Wait. Heidi, come. Get out of there. Naughty. Hey, don't get under my camera. Fucking moron. What do you got there now? Favourite pastime. Hey, MK, how are you, mate? How are you? Fuzzy in here too. You found a blimmin' bombie knocker. Did you give her a bombie knocker earlier? She got down here and see. She loves these that come off the tree. She doesn't eat them. She just chews them up. Yeah, cool. I'm going to keep her happy for a little while. Keep the dog occupied. But yeah, man. Hey, Susie, seeing as you're watching, apparently this camera will process like tree leaves and stuff faster. So that's why my old phone would drop the quality outside. So if I do this, does it go all pixelated and low quality, or are we all right? How do we look there, mate? Let's have it. Show me, mate.
Good at the moment, actually.
Yeah, it's not too good at the moment. Internet will be a bit slow. Yeah, well, it's probably because you're watching it as well. You might, yeah. If you want, you jump off. Yeah, if you don't mind, throw your Wi-Fi off. And let me know if the quality suddenly gets any better, guys, because the Wi-Fi is pretty strained here for upload speed and that. So I have to upgrade my Starlink because I've got like a limited bandwidth plan, right? And okay until you went inside. Now okay. Okay. Cheers, bro.
Right now.
Hey.
It's a lot better now.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I think it's a lot of it. They say it's I looked it all up with AI and that, right? And it's the movement and the processing real time. All the processing is done within the phone, right? I think certainly this one's keeping up a lot better. Oi. Oi. Here's wifey. Oh, back massages. Oh yeah. Oh, you're gonna make me purr like a Wookiee. I can't do a Wookiee noise very well. Oh, yeah, a little higher, mate. A little higher. Oh, hiya. A little higher, hiya. It's wifey, yeah. Future wifey someday. Ola's going to be our flower girl. Yeah, we're gonna have a Team Ola sponsored wedding. There's gonna be a big buffet. There's gonna be lobsters to represent John Peterson. There's gonna be a large seafood buffet. We'll throw some shrimp on the barbie, and bring Sean and the bread over. He can cook the shrimp on the barbie. Can you be my best man? Oh man, I think I'm the best man, mate. I think I'm the best man. You know, got to have that self-belief. Yeah, we'll figure it out, mate. We'll figure it out. We'll see the loyal ones, right? We'll see how we get on. Oh, I'm liking the good vibe, guys. As I say, I am just trying to build a channel. You know, we have a good vibe.
Yeah.
She was really surprised at first when we were on live, like the first, were we on live the first time I did pistol squats? on the old channel. I think we were.
So,
And yeah, I just started doing like pistol squats with the 10 kilo weight and did like 5 of them. And she's like, how the fuck are you doing that? And everyone was like, what the fuck? And I'm like, I think it's just like years of BMX and motorbikes and stuff built up the legs. And the guy, no sad prawns on barbecue. Ouija board, GQ patrol, B kebab, a favor, Zlau. Zoltan? I don't know what you're saying, sorry. I can't understand any of that. You speak the Chinese. Speak the Chinese today. I don't understand. You confusing me, big boy. I'm quite I quite like a Borat voice lately. We use many times the Borat voice. We're making funny joke. For the people, it is good. Yeah, I don't know what that guy is speaking in Syrian Aramaic or something. What was that damn movie? The Syrian Aramaic one with Denzel Washington. Oh, I can't remember. It had Azazel in it. I can't remember now. Where's me lighter? Where's me lighter, mate? Hello?
I don't know.
Okay. I can talking to myself out here. I can. Hang on, mate. I wonder where it went. You got a spare one or something in your bag? You usually have one hoarded. She usually has a spare lighter hoarded away. She keeps ahead of the curve with me, this girl, you know. She usually keeps a spare lighter
It
hoarded
has to go in the purse, so I know where it is.
Fair. Thanks, Mop. This is her lighter. It says Squat Queen on it. I love it. Mongolian. Why can't you understand Mongolian? Do you still drink? What? No. Are you going to be a bodybuilder someday? Nah, not at all, man. I just do push-ups. As I say, it's more for mental health, right? It's not about the physique side of it. Yeah.
Haga Liz. I'll translate it for you.
Haggard Lebars Bow Lawyer. I don't know, man. Okay. Are you a cat that's walked on somebody's keyboard? I'm ready to proceed. I'm not a cat. the lawyer showing up with the cat filter on the Zoom call. I'm not a cat. I'm ready to move forward. Fucking brilliant video. Where's bloody Ola gone? I need the ADHD bounce off here. He's run away. He's abandoned me. Something bar black sheep. I don't know. Please keep it to English, guys. I'm trying not to destroy my channel with bullshit. You know, would be good. What does a New Zealander's girlfriend say? Oh gosh.
Oh dear.
Mutton chops. Okay, so yes, English. Speak it English. My name is Bart. I speak English. Alright, what have I done? Done 2 hours, 3 minutes on here so far. So yeah, usually about 2.5 hours I'll head off, guys. So I will chat a bit longer if anybody needs any help with anything. Anybody needs any. We ended up doing 420 push-ups, and yeah, we'll just have a chat. I might have another coffee soon. There we go. The last what's left of the last cigarette from the last pack. That's set. I've done good. That has sat there for a day and a half, and I haven't touched it. So there we go. We'll just dispose of that. I am trying to stick to the vape, and I'm getting a lot better at the vape. Quite often I have to turn it on when I go to use it, which shows I haven't used it. I think it turns off after about 20-30 minutes, so that's good. It's a step in the right direction. 45 likes. Holy crap. That's good. That's good. All right. So we'll try to stick to, yeah. Does anybody need any help with anything? Advice? Questions? Anything? Otherwise I'll probably wrap it up soon. See if
I tried to translate it and it doesn't really work.
No, he's speaking in cat walking on keyboard, like I said. Yes, they are. Yes, that's very true. I am not perfect, my friend. I'm on the journey just like everybody else, right? I have my flaws and things, so you know. This dog. Yeah, I'm not doing this with you, bro. I'm not doing this like my whole chat. Like you're just gonna I'm just gonna time you out for like half an hour right now, bro. Honestly. Because I'm not going to have my chat just filled up with something in another language, and then people come in and they're like, what are we talking about here, right? I'm here to give my time to have a proper conversation, right? I'm here to help people who are depressed, people who are wanting to like end their lives or don't feel they have purpose or something, right? People who are struggling, right? That's what I'm here for. So yeah, please do keep it on topic, guys. You know, I'll try and accommodate. You know, we have a bit of a laugh sometimes and stuff, but sometimes it just becomes a bit too much, right? So you got to put a lid on it. Sort of, like I said like 3 times, like we got to stick it in English, right? So I've got to have boundaries. I got to have boundaries, right? On here. Yep. Anyway, have I got some food there to munch down on, mate?
Yeah,
I might need a little reheat, you reckon, eh? Oh, we got some macaroni cheese. Macaroni cheese, I need some after me workout. There we go. No, you're not having my macaroni cheese. No, it's my macaroni cheese. No, get out of my kitchen. Stay over there. Platz. Hey, around. Platz. Very good. Stay. I'm not doing all this other language stuff, guys. I'm not playing this stupid game with you. English. I'm here to help people with mental health and stuff, not like I can't keep going around in circles. Hang on. Get that before the dog climbs it off the floor. Dogs cannot eat bacon. Just FYI, I never give a dog a pig product. They can't process the bacteria and stuff in them. Yeah, nice carbonara, mate. Well, what have we got in there? Onion, pasta, butter, bacon, salt, pepper.
we didn't have onion this time.
Oh, no onion. Alright. He's going to stop me farting. Just trying to stop me gastro.
Does it taste alright though?
Good. Yeah. Good. Just heat through a bit more. Away, dog. Do you want to head out on the bike soon and go get some drinks and stuff?
Yeah,
Or the truck, either or. It's a bit muggy, it's a bit shitty weather. We have to move. Oh, yeah, true. With my truck's got a flat battery. So I got to put that on charge today. My truck hasn't been used until the battery died. So that's good. Spaghetti, zucchini and garlic bread for dinner here. Nice, mate. What's the protein you're putting into that, mate? You need protein, my friend. Spaghetti, zucchini. You're having some like mince in it, like a spag bowl. Man, I love a good lasagna, man. My mum growing up used to do a big like lasagna like this thick, you know, with lots of like cheese sauce like melted on top, and oh mate. Ground beef, beautiful, man. That's another good thing with ground beef, is it's a really good way, like if you want to go a carnivore diet or a high protein diet and stuff, especially for pure carnivore, and you need like 50-50 fat and mince, you know, to keep your fats up, is you can go to like a butcher and they'll throw in the fat for, you know, they'll do it cheaper than normal mince because you're just bulking it out with fat that we're going to throw away, right? But they'll usually want you to make up like 10 pounds at a time or something, right, to make it worth their hassle to mix it up for you. But that can be a really good option. Yep. Do check out all my new shorts and stuff, guys. I put up like 6 of them yesterday, so, you know, please do comment on the ones you like and let me know, like, if there's one you don't like, do let me know in the comments, or, you know, Just let me know if it's a bit too flashy or I tweak this a bit. You know, I am open to you know, any input from people who can help me with what I'm doing here. Got 50 votes on that poll. Spider-Man, hello Spider-Man. Spider-Man and Venom are teaming up. I'm Dark Spider-Man. He's Venom version. Are those all like wavy little people? Are they aliens? We come in peace. We come in peace. Yeah, I've seen a few Mars Attacks memes in the last few days. Alright guys, alright, we've been on 2 hours 10 minutes. It's gotten pretty quiet, so yeah. Lasagna's peak, I agree, bro. It's getting pretty quiet, so unless we have some questions about self-improvement and stuff, I will head off. Anybody need anything? Anybody need advice? Anybody need anything? Because I'm going to get on with the rest of my day. I've got lots I want to get done. I've already worked on the house this morning, done that. Made sure I got that done early. Done all my workout stuff, and sort of I played the mind to now go do the car stuff I really don't want to do. Ask her how to know the gender of a girl. Well, you already know she's a girl, so you already what? Oh dear. Alright guys, I'm going to head off. I'm going to head off before this turns into bloody brain rot. Thank you all for being here. I appreciate all the support. Shout out Team Ola and Weights and that. Yeah, right. Alright, good. I might do another stream later today or something, guys. We'll see how we go. But there we go. 420 push-ups and hopefully some motivation for some people. Hopefully some good advice. We've had some good conversations. But I'm going to head off. If you're not subbed yet, please do. If you haven't hit the like yet, please do. You can double tap me on the forehead and up those likes. I don't think we're going to hit 50 before we get out of here with only 5 people left, but that's all right. But, you know, if you're not sub or, you know, go click on my channel now. Go look at what my channel's about. Please read the channel description. And it gives a better idea of what my channel's about. Good. All right, I hope you all have a good day. Stay positive. Don't be too hard on yourselves. Negative thinking never got anybody anywhere, right? You need a calm, clear, emotional state to be able to make good long-term decisions in life. You cannot operate from a heightened emotional state, amped up on caffeine or whatever, and you're a million miles an hour. You can't see the forest for the trees, right? So just try and keep that. Cool. All right. Take care, guys, and I'll see you tonight, tomorrow, sometime. Go to my channel, make sure all notifications are on. Then you'll know when I'm live. All right.